Hello, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Friday Night Comic Shop Talk. We were gone for a few weeks and we missed you, but we are glad to be back. And I've got, of course, our usual suspects, of course. Hopefully, everyone had a good Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Christmas Day, etc., etc. I see Naked Fame. What's up, Naked Fame? How are you? Nice to see you here. Cheers to you. It's Friday night, and yeah, this is Knob Creek I'm drinking tonight. And I did a little dash of coconut, and I see Mr. Imperatus here. What's up, Imperatus? This guy right here, over here, folks, has got a channel he's going to get started soon, and he will actually be a guest next week's Friday Night Comic Shop Talk. So I can't wait to have him on. He has a lot of background in actual radio, particularly metal radio. He hails from New York, and he's got a great voice, and he has a great conversation that deserves to be heard. I can't wait to help expose that to the masses. So, Imperatus, I can't wait to have you on next week, and we're gonna get your channel started. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be fantastic. And I see Guyvervacman. What's up, Guyvervacman? How are you? Oh my God, Naked Fame here. I'm drinking Dos Equis Lemon Salt, dude. Cheers to that, man. That's good. That's good. Nice to see you all here. Thank you for dropping by. Well, I'm gonna bring in my panelists, and we're just gonna have a nice, simple comic shop talk, geek talk. It'll be open course, anything goes. I've got an unboxing, and maybe if the guys want to show off any gifts they got, we'll do that too. But simple is a chill stream. Keep it fun, keep it positive. Mostly, every now and then there's a time and place, but tonight we're gonna keep it fun. So we're gonna bring in our boys, starting with the guy that hails from down under, Mr. Gregory. How are you?
Yeah, going good, buddy. Thanks for having me here. I'm happy to be back on. I had other plans for today, and they all fell through, and I was just like, I've got to jump on Nick's stream, so I hit him up as soon as possible.
Oh no, dude! Thank you for coming on. It's been a while, man. I'm like, man, what's Mr. Gregory doing? I've been wondering about you, so it
I
feels good to
I
have
had
you
a
back.
little encounter with some black goo, but apart from that, I've been feeling great.
That's some like, oh, are you sure you feel great? Like, do you feel like your other is kind of
Oh, I
getting to
mean,
you?
there's a little bit of a thing I get every now and then, but apart, I feel fine.
Talk like that. Oh my god. Oh man. That is great.
And sometimes I can control it. So,
Sometimes you can control it. Sometimes.
yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad to have you back on. It's gonna be a good, nice Friday night of just chilling, hanging out. And in your case, it's Saturday, so we're gonna get this show on the road, bring in our other boys. Mr. Lord Thoth, the Egyptian god himself, who's been drinking himself pretty good as well tonight. How are you, my friend?
Cheers, everyone. Good to be here. Thanks for the
Cheers.
invite. Looking forward to our chat like I do every Friday night. It's good to see everybody and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my man. I'm glad to be doing this again. It's been some time. Like seriously, like we were away for a few weeks for obvious reasons. So it's like we got the band back together now.
That's right. It's good to be here.
All right, awesome. Thank you as always. And then of course, Mr. MVP.
Like you said, Nick, it's been a while, man. But hey, it's good to be back. Always fun hanging with you guys and talking about the stuff that we love. So can't beat it. So cheers and happy New Year, everyone.
Cheers and happy New Year to you. Nice to see a Persian scribe in the chat as well. Hail, Nick. Look forward to hearing him Pierce on future. Dude, trust me. After him and I had we were supposed to have like a quick test run of StreamYard, and it ended up turning into like an hour and 15-minute conversation, and that's when I knew I was excited. Like I can't wait to get this guy on there and like just once again have his voice be heard. This guy clearly has experience with this type of stuff, and it shows when you listen to him speak. He's got the voice. He knows how to carry conversation forward. He's gonna be great. He knows metal. He knows comic books. So he's got knowledge. He's got years of knowledge. Like I'm like this guy's gonna he's gonna give some of us a run for our money. So prepare, guys, prepare. And D Bud Martin, hail to you, sir. Always another loyal listener as well. Nice to see you. All right, let's bring in our other two boys. The Ice Wolf from far down the other side of the planet. How's it going, Fenrir?
How's it going, boys? It's my life's going. It's going okay. I mean, I finally watched the first Police Academy for the first time in my life, and it's an okay film. Pretty funny. Can't lie about that. But yeah, I'm surviving.
You're a survivor. Yes, you are a survivor, Fenrir. Good to hear from you, man. It's been a bit.
Yeah, come on. It's not been that long. It's only been
A few weeks.
shit. I lost count of the days.
Wow, losing count that much, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, time flies in the world, and sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. But we also got.
But yeah, Nick, at some point we got to talk about that article we were talking about because the guys from Bounding into Comics put me there, and I feel kind of proud about that.
Well,
no, I shouldn't because it's pathetic, but still, I'm kind of proud.
No, dude, be proud of that. Take a win, man. Take a win. Seriously, take that win where you can get it.
Be proud because no one else is going to do it for you. So you take your wins where you get them.
There you go. All right. We're bringing our other gentleman here, Mr. Pablo of Geek Tropology and Midnight's Edge Espanol.
Howdy ho, Pablo.
Howdy ho, friends. Did you enjoy Christmas? It was a special time.
How's it going, Pablo? So, I heard you saw No Way Home a few times.
As far as today, I have seen it 3 times, and I'm planning on seeing it at least a couple more.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go for number 3 with it soon. So that's the goal there. But we're not gonna talk about movies, even though that's happened. But did you guys get any killer? I guess we'll start off with Max. Did you get any killer comic stuff during the Christmas day that you want to show off? You want to?
I don't know if you guys are avid watchers of Cartoonist Kayfabe, but they did a
I know Kayfabe
review. Yeah. They're incredible. Some of the stuff they do. So I got the one of the books that they had talked about on the Folio Society Captain America omnibus. So that was really rad. And then they did a one about Punisher, the Frank Turan Punisher.
I'm gonna zoom in on you.
Yeah, he only did 2 issues, but he was the artist on both of these. They're absolutely beautiful, man. Like they did a full breakdown of each one of these, and they're just, in my opinion, it's some of the best Punisher I've like seen and read in a while. It's everything you want. It's action. It's hardcore badassery. It's just excellent. So
the classic skull on his chest, not that crap that they're putting
no.
It's gonna be the class. Man.
Oh, I mean, it's only going to be that.
Nothing of today's time counts as canon to the actual fans.
Doesn't count. Yeah.
So I'm trying to think what else.
What else?
I think that's it for now, man. But and then I've got some other Daredevil stuff, like some old like the speaking of more Punisher and Daredevil classic cover.
Oh yeah,
so
great run. That's a great run, Miller run.
Yeah. Oh, I have that. I really do have that. Like
it's so like the colors on these are just so vibrant. The artwork is incredible, and it's one of the. It's like kind of what put Daredevil on the map as far as like his his character.
Understatement. Yeah, understatement. What's up, Bilbo?
So man, those were I guess the grails that I've picked up in the past. What would that be? 2 weeks or so. So been fun to reread those and look through those again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Mr. Gregory, did you get any comic related stuff for
no, but I did order a bunch of quote unquote boutique ones. So I just went around to different people's channels, and there's just been that many. I can't even think of the names off the top of my head. I met someone in a stream while he was doing some just artwork, and jumped on there and had a chat with him, and he's doing his first comic, and it was on Indiegogo, and I just went, yep, all right. It's a lot more expensive to ship them to Australia, but they should be arriving probably. It's more going to be like an Easter present. Most of them seem to be arriving around then.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
So But yeah, nothing from the mainstream. I don't have a comic book store nearby, and if there's something that I want to read, I'll just buy it digitally and then order it later on.
Nice. Killer, dude. Hey, I look forward to seeing what you got when you get it, my man. I appreciate that. So I guess I'll turn this over to me. So I didn't get a comic book like stuff for Christmas, but I did get a cool couple figurines. I'll like this guy right here, Doctor.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
And
Amazing, man.
I took him out of the box, but I got my favorite character from Ghostbusters Afterlife, Mr. Podcast himself.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
He-
wait.
he- yeah.
You seriously liked him?
Yeah, he is my
Oh.
favorite character in the movie. Like no be. He came with a tiny little abominable snowman.
Oh, he's only a
too.
child. Oh, sorry, never mind.
Oh, the little marshmallow
that's
guy.
cute.
Nice.
There
Yeah.
was so much of an asshole in the movie, man. Just seeing them
Oh, I
being
know, right?
Oh,
And the goggles are really, really on his head, and I can't take them up. But yeah, no, I got a cool couple figurines. I got some cool shirts. I got.
podcast. Sorry,
I also got
I was
my
thinking of the brother character.
these amazing Homer pajamas.
Nice.
Here, hold up.
That's
I gotta
awesome.
zoom in. Yes, Homer pajamas. You see that Homer?
You've
Yeah,
even
this-
got
this
him
is
on
my
your
left.
background.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
awesome.
yeah, that says you'll have to speak up on wearing a towel, which I'm not personally wearing a towel right now because you saw him wearing pajama pants, but he's there. You got Eddie there from the Peace of Mind, Iron Maiden.
Oh,
You got
that's
Dave
cool.
Mustaine, his autograph right there from Megadeth when he came to C2E2. So yeah, Mr. Mustaine, and of course I got Agent Mulder right here. There you
Dude,
go,
you
Steve Mulder.
you added that Molder one is so rad. You've added a lot to the
it is.
wall, man, since I've been back. It looks great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the walls expanded, and also, like, of course, I had the children, adding some of their stuff as well. They're like, "Hey, could we add to the wall?" I'm like, "Yeah, why not? Add to the wall. Let's go nuts with it." So
Oh,
I
yeah.
let them go nuts with it. So it's
Not only
been
that,
good.
Nick, I quite like your T-shirt as well.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, this shirt, yeah, right here.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So much
Yeah.
truth in just one shirt.
And I see D-Bud here says my Simpsons pajamas were all 20 years ago. D-Bud, I have like 5 Simpsons pajamas. I have more pajama pants than regular pants.
I still have my Superman underoos, man. What are you talking
Dude,
about?
nice. Hey, what's up, Raymond? Nice to see you here.
I mean, what's the shame in that? I
29.
still got my Spider-Man ones.
Yep, that's right, Raymond. We are changed Luke. That's right. That's where I got it from. And Mr. Gregory, what did you do? What does this mean? I had to play this clip? Oh, Mr. Grant, yeah, right. That clip will never get old. But Mr. Grant Gregory coming in hot for $4.29 says, "Hail to the pizza-loving, metal fanatic, Lemmy's ghost inhabiting man of the hour, the guy with as many flavors deep in him. It makes Jack Murphy jealous." Hail, Nick. God damn it. You are hilarious, Grant. Thank you. Thank you. That was dude, it does work. Dude, like my high school life consisted of pajamas only. I would straight up I'd walk into school like with my arms flailing like I was Vince McMahon walking down the aisle to No Chance in Hell. That was me, but with the pajamas. Yeah, I was just like yeah, Austin, you're fired. So that's just how the cookie crumbles. Yes, every time. All right, we got another guy to bring up in here, the Iron Caster.
Hey.
Hey.
My show now.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
That's right, Boo Boo. You're the captain now. So Iron
So
Caster.
how's everyone's Christmas go for them? Sorry, I'm getting here late, so
No, you're good,
kinda
man.
jumping in.
No, you're good. I mean, it's only like 15 minutes or in. No, it's been good. MVP got some cool Punisher and Daredevil comics. I got some cool action figures to boot, and Mr. Gregory cheated stuff to some stuff that will come in for Easter, so they'll technically be considered some Easter gifts. So I was gonna see what the other boys have, but if you got anything you want to show off right now, I'll let you have at it.
Well, I do have a small little stack of stuff here I can show off.
Show us your stuff.
Ooh, show us your stack.
Well, first
Come
off,
on,
this just
show
came in
us
the
your
mail about
stack.
this just came out in the mail about a week ago, but I got the Expendables. It's still wrapped up.
Oh man, everybody's getting it but me.
I have not even cracked the seal on this yet.
Oh,
It
I've
just
read
looks
it.
beautiful with that
Dude,
cover.
crack it open. Crack it.
Did you get the dog tags too, and all the artwork and the
Oh,
posters?
I got the posters, but I didn't get the dog tags.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
see.
really count. Comic
I
Con
went
does.
big. Go big or go home, Ironcaster. What do you mean?
See, Thoth, that's the way, especially for the Expendables.
Ironcaster, just
Oh,
have a
yeah.
smell. Can you smell the toxic masculinity seeping out of the pages?
Oh,
Yes, I
You
can
can
smell
smell-
it, and it's beautiful, man.
You
The
can smell the
toxicity
napalm. What are you talking about? The napalm, man.
That's right.
Oh,
the
dude,
Yeah, but
napalm.
only in the morning.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
All right, what'd you just break?
Hopefully that wasn't your liquor, man.
No, my
I
sound
can
wave's
smell the
fine.
cigars, I can tell you what.
Oh, it's okay. It's Decepticons. You're good.
No, but oh god, I haven't had a chance
Autobots,
to crack this up yet.
roll out.
Let's see if we can get that sound for the first crack.
Hail, Keely Chow. Nice to see you here. You came in right on time for the unpackaging of Ironcaster's Expendables. book.
Yeah, Ironcaster showing off his crack.
Ray, you got it right, man. You got it right. Smells like gas.
Ooh, dude. Hey, can we get a glance at that cover again? Because it looks like it's like a thickie. Like that. It looks like it's a thickie cover. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is. It's a hardcover.
thickie.
Yep, it's a
I
hardcover.
love it, dude.
Of course
You
it's the
need to go.
hardcover, it's got Stallone on it.
You need to buy Golden Age bags and boards for it to fit in, because the Silver Age ones won't work, but the Golden Age ones work perfect.
Honestly, I like having the shelf to show off.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well, I
the
put it. I
shelf
still put it in
shower.
the bag with the board though, because it's going to be valuable. Because they only made, gee, I can't remember what the Kickstarter was, like 9,000 people or something. I'd have to go
Oh.
back and look.
Hey, Dalton, what's up, dude? Oh, dude, look at the toxicity on that.
That's so badass, man.
The toxicity is beautiful.
We'll show off one more thing, one more page from this, and then I'm gonna show off a little bit of extra.
You got to
extra
show
stuff.
off the kick butt where they kick Lucifer's ass. There, you got to show that one off.
Oh no, I think
Oh,
I have a
spoiler
good page to show off.
You got to do that, dude. Come on, do it for a guy who hasn't seen it yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's that guy with the stash there going down.
dude.
Wait a second, is that Hitler?
Yeah,
The
that's
people
almost
you-
like Thanos hitting Captain Marvel.
So I was gonna say, I think I see
There's Bin
Osama
Laden
there
behind him as
too.
well.
Yeah, I see
And
Osama.
Stalin's in the background, like far
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's Stalin.
Dude,
I can
that's
see
cool,
Stalin over there.
that's
This
cool.
was a slow.
America.
This was such a politically incorrect book. I loved every page.
man. Dude, I now want a copy. Damn it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
God, I want to buy it.
Seriously.
How much do
I
you
wa-
sell it for?
So I also went and upgraded my Blu-ray to a 4K, and I went and spent far
Ooh.
too much money on movies.
Dude,
And it's a nice
show
little
'em.
list that I think is going to be, you might say, is toxic.
Dude, show it. We want to see it.
Just show it, man.
Take it out.
slow.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Oh.
The second best Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Road Warrior is I think number one.
Oh,
I
Speaking
agree
of
with
Road
you,
Warrior,
MVP.
Road Warrior is gonna be the next Toxic Tuesday flick.
Oh, you
nice.
keep doing that to me,
The
Flavor Flav.
reveal.
Thought
reveal.
if you got a paid vacation day, I'm just saying. I know I'm worth it. I know I'm worth it for that Toxic Tuesday.
Ian, if it wasn't my wife's birthday, I would be there.
Oh, I love that movie.
And you know what the funny thing is? We were supposed to go on a trip and everything, and because Canada's in such a lockdown now, we had to
Yeah.
cancel. And she is pretty upset right now.
I
One
can
I
empathize with her. I can
actually
empathize
looking
with her.
forward to.
You know, I used to watch that Van Helsing movie just for the vampire tits, and was
And I see
Right? There's nothing better than vampire.
oh,
vampire
tremors.
tits.
You have okay. You have tremors. You have
What's up, Ricardo Herrera?
That's
Hello,
not
guys.
all.
Especially Kuro. Hello, sir. How are you? And then Basco
Hey,
Scenario. What's up, Basco?
Ricardo Herrera is my best friend.
Is he?
Yeah, that motherfucker works on a truck on Amazon. So
Okay,
Nice.
okay.
yeah.
Dude, nice. Ooh,
Oh,
Starship
come on, that's
Troopers.
Classic.
Yes.
Classic.
Like I think half this list is gonna be stuff that's gotta be on Toxic Tuesdays.
Dude, right? I was gonna
Yeah.
say you're getting the list of toxicity out. It's like you're doing the work for me.
And then it's not one, not two, but 3 films for the next one.
D Bud. This is our little dude.
Oh,
The
nice.
Mummy.
I will admit
Uh,
that's a good movie.
1, 2, and 3.
3 was
Nice.
kind of crazy. 2, the CGI Scorpion King was.
No,
I
it's
still
actually
love
Yeah,
it.
beautiful.
it's just so dumb.
dude, I love 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are so much fun.
Oh,
Seriously.
Hey, goats.
Brendan Fraser is such
Yeah,
a
they were
great
old school
lead.
fun. The first 2 ones were just old school for fun.
Fraser
I mean,
is such a
he
great lead.
moved mirrors by shooting them. How cool
The
is that?
CGI Scorpion King is one of the worst special effects in cinema history, up there with Birdemic.
Oh yeah.
But it is such a fun movie for the other like 85% of that movie.
Oh, I know, right? It really is.
Birdemic is amazing, man.
me,
But
so.
do you know what's better than Birdemic? Jontron's review of Birdemic.
Mhm.
Oh,
Hey,
he
Pablo,
didn't do that?
did you get anything?
I got a couple of posters for my wall.
Ooh, you want
Nice.
to show them or you want to just...
I don't know if they will be easy to see.
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
see them?
Here, I'll zoom in on your screen. What's up,
Yeah.
Oh,
Plumby?
cool.
Hey, buddy. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry I'm late, my friends.
Oh,
Good to see
you're
you.
good,
So-
dude.
I got one of Leono from Thundercats. One of my
Yeah.
favorite series of all time.
Thundercats is a great favorite for all.
Oh man, the trials of Leono when he is actually getting to be the leader of the tribe. That is actually masculinity. They show you how to be a man. Watch those.
Oh come on,
episodes,
all
please.
those shows knew how to show you how to be a man back then.
Exactly. It is directly. You need to be strong. You need to be smart. You need to be kind. And
You need to be confident
know-
too.
Yep. And you need to know when to fuck a bitch.
Yes, the old cartoons knew how to teach that very well.
Also,
hilarious.
a couple of Zelda and Nintendo posters, and the others, but other than that, I have been only watching movies. So yeah.
Killer. All right, I see a few questions here and some comments. Is it funny that after so many steroids, Dwayne Johnson now looks like a CGI version? Naked Fane, that comment is hilarious. And Mr. Dalton here, the authenticator, says, "Are you guys ever going to do Demolition Man?" We were close
have
to
to be
doing
on
it.
that one.
We were close to doing it one time. The only reason it didn't happen is because it got voted out because there was a competition between
It was so
Escape
close.
from New York, Con Air, and Demolition Man. Like that trust me, that was a close race between the 3, but Escape from New York won, but trust me, there will be a time we do Demolition Man.
Man, I petitioned so hard to get Demolition Man on that one. Every time someone voted on there, so I said, don't you sure you want to? Come on, let's do Demolition
You can thank
Man.
Mad Mardigan. Mad Mardigan went and pulled off that 3 a.m. fortification. He fortified the votes.
Yeah, he
at
found
3 a.m.
27,000 votes.
Yeah, he found
Love it.
he found a bunch of votes sitting around, and he used that to give Escape from New York the win. And then that's how Escape from New York won. So, it was definitely widespread fraud from Mr. Mad Mardigan. And D-Bud says, Simon says, have me on Toxic Tuesday. Dude, if you're talking about you, of course. You're always hanging out in the chats anyway. But otherwise, yeah. If you want to ever come on, D-Bud, I'd be glad. Glad to have you. What's up?
I know Ironcastle was showing off some, or I guess Expendables Go to Hell is a crowdfunded comic by your boy Zach, and I have a few others here. Let me fix my cam here real
Yes.
quick.
Yeah.
And if you guys want, because there were 2 by Iconic Comics. I did
Ooh.
the Arc Athena.
Let's see
I
what
think
you
this
got,
is
MVP.
yeah.
I don't really think I've heard of that one.
This one, and I think you can actually go on to Iconic Comics and go find it as well. It's another hardcover. It's got that kind of gloss sheen onto it. But
Your
by
picture
Eric
quality is a
Canetti.
little wonky.
Yeah.
Oh, is my Wi-Fi jacked up?
You're like, we can hear you loud and clear, thankfully, but your camera's on and off and bipolar. Right now, you're fine, so you can show up.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
a
lot
lot
better
better
if
now.
you want.
Yeah, it's just small moments when you look like
Oh yeah,
Japanese
now.
porn.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
The
Is that the
toxicity
omnibus?
rises.
Talking about Japanese porn, well,
Oh.
Does
Yeah,
that
yeah,
have
that's
volume
pretty
4
cool.
in it?
The best one though by far, and hopefully my camera is still good right now.
It's
But,
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
That's good.
Patriotica,
Oh.
anyone?
Yes.
Hardcover?
Oh yes.
oh, I like what I'm seeing.
And
Me
this
too.
is-
And 2 things exactly.
It's
Yep.
yeah. Right. This is a Lucio
Three in that
Perillo. The Lucio Perillo stuff is just incredible. And then
See,
this
that's
is
the
Valkyrie
artist that
Saviors.
knows what his customers want. Right
Exactly.
there. Bang.
Seriously. I'm
He
just
does
looking
all
at
the-
2 good-looking things at that on all that image.
And
He
one of
does
them
all
is
the like
Max.
Red Sonja. No. I make
know,
this.
I
I
think
make this
Fenrir-
way uglier.
Fenrir actually has a really good point. There's a lot of women that say that man cannot do 2 things at the same time. We can see boobs and asses at the same time.
Is that the Samurai of Oz?
Yeah, so this was a another crowdfunding campaign that they did the 3 omnibus together, and it was Patriotica, Valkyrie Saviors, and what was the last one? The Samurai of Oz.
Oh,
And,
Samurai of Oz, yeah.
They're all hardcover, all have this like the nice cover on them. So yeah, they're beautiful. The artwork is just absolutely incredible. But yeah, crowdfunding just continues to outdo itself, man. Like they've really, especially in 2021, like they're only getting started. So it was cool to get those in the mail for Christmas.
Nice. All right. Killer, dude.
Excellent.
No.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Nice.
just to speak to the crowdfunding stuff for a sec, before you introduce Klobby there, but the great thing about that is it's a little more expensive, but we're really getting what we want. The art is great, the story is cool. It's just a matter of the artists knowing what we want and what they love to draw, and that's what we're getting. And that's why I go into I've got like 3 going on right now. Whether it's
Nice.
Kickstarter or any of the other Kickstarter clones, it's the same thing. And there's some really, really great stuff out there that just everybody needs to go out and take a look, because there's some really good artists out there who are
Plus,
barely making ends meet that are doing this to try to pay the bills. But boy, I tell you, it's really good stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, they like to throw in little add-ons as well.
Little kickbacks.
I
got
can't.
a little.
I can't wait for
Patch?
my Inglorious Rex to come in from Shane
Oh,
Davis.
there's another good one.
I cannot. I was literally. I went on YouTube right when that one went on Indiegogo, and I backed that one immediately. When I heard about the concept, I'm like, this sounds like something I would love. That spoke to me. But go on, Castle. You got
Yes.
toxicity to show.
Oh, I was just gonna show off that Common America was one of the first ones to do the acrylic standee that a lot of them are now doing.
Mm-hmm.
Which hey, it's just a little stand up. Which with the last Common America campaign, they had I think about 5 or 6 like $400 actual like statues of the character sold out within like minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the thing. The guys that are working on Kamen America actually know about manga. And if you know a bit about manga, what at least doujinshis do is give you a lot of knickknacks. And these acrylic stands actually are really popular with, let's say, not so for adult comics. Adult comics, yeah, that's an easy way to say it. And they can get a lot of money just because they have pretty girls naked on acrylic. So yeah, it's something that works. Japan has shown it. No, America is doing it too. So great.
So, Mr. Clobberin Times, how was your Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah, they ended. That's good.
They
No,
ended.
they're good. They're good, man. How's everyone? Sorry I'm late, buddy.
Oh,
Sorry
no,
about
you're
that.
good, man. Did
Good
you
to
get
see
any
you, man.
cool comic stuff? Did you treat yourself to, or anyone get you as a gift? Any cool comic stuff?
I did go on. I know it's evil to get digital, but they were cheap. I couldn't help it. Comic College
Dude,
had
it's
Comic
so
College
worth
had
it.
tons of Masterworks for 99 cents and $1.99, a bunch of Epic collections, and just to
Worth
catch up
it.
on some reading, and so I did that. But other than that, no, I didn't. Didn't get it.
Okay, well, any of those that you got that stood out to you, they're like, wow, like either like whether it was a first time read or something that you reread for the first time in a while, you're like, holy crap, this still holds up. Anything that stood out?
I haven't read much of it yet, but I have been rereading Power Man and Iron Fist, which was a series I liked. And I went back and where it began around that was Power Man number 50 when they joined up and teamed up. And I've been reading some of those early ones because that was a good series for a good while. I enjoyed it a lot. I love that team, and I've been kind of revisiting that. Yeah, that was a good comic back in the late 70s, early 80s for a little while anyway.
Dude,
a little while, a few years. So.
I'm glad I asked what stood out because that totally does stand out. I'm just saying, man. And
yes, they were fun together. They were
that
great
Power
team.
Man and Iron Fist arc in 48 to 50, where it became Power Man and Iron Fist. I love that. I am a huge Iron Fist fan, and I've seen it coming up for auctions lately. And if you're going for a VF better version of those comics, I can't believe the price tags on those comics now. I'm glad I have them in my box, my long boxes, because I can't believe some of the prices these comics are going for nowadays. That's 72, I think.
It's insane, man. But it's good stuff. It shows that there's some demand for them, and that's why they're doing the Masterworks and different things like that. But some things you guys are talking about these. When I just started thinking when you're talking about these crowdfunded comics, and it sort of reminds. I finally found the parallel about that I was looking for in the early 1980s when I first started working in a comic shop. When comic shops started to spring up, a lot of the independent companies started to come up and really make some noise. And of course, they had what you called at that time. There wasn't crowdfunding, but it was direct sales, which was something they direct sales meant comic shops only, and it was non-returnable, like Marvel and DC. They deal that Marvel and DC and Carlton and Gold Key and all these other, and Archie had with the regular distributors, which was returnable comics. And it really lit a fire under Marvel and DC's ass. And when it all shook out, there were tons and tons of companies throughout the 80s. They had the black and white glut. There were a lot of big companies that eventually fell. The few left standing, aside from Image, of course, that broke off from Marvel, stuff like Dark Horse and a few others. But for the most part, they went out because the big two, at that point, they didn't have a lot of great stuff, and I was kind of getting disenchanted with them. But at that time, they had a sense of self-preservation. And so they eventually maintained their grasp over the market. What's different about that is they have no sense of self-preservation now, none, and they will be devoured by independents. Unlike in the 80s when they were run by people that were by business people, now they're run by zealots and idiots, so they will be destroyed.
I suspect that
Zealots and idiots
Dark
is
Horse,
too nice of a word for them.
Yeah, but Dark Horse may be one of the last ones standing here because I have a
it might
feeling
be.
that DC and Marvel may go the way of the dodo bird. And I think that a lot of these independent companies may be the only comic companies left, except for Manga. Obviously, that's huge. That's going to stay.
Give it time. They're already infecting.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem in the comic industry today is a lot of this culture that's going through and is prevalent in society today has inundated these companies with some bad consumer ideas. You can't sell a comic on ideas alone. You have to have your customer base is important to you, and when you isolate them and then ostracize those people who've been your customers for 50 years and then decide to pick up a new audience who doesn't buy comic books, that's a big problem, right? And that's why these customers are suffering the way they are right now.
And there's something that this is even more worrisome. Most of the consumers or the customers that you have that go away, they will start to develop other habits. So they will start to buy manga, or they will start to buy other kinds of movies, whatever, and then that's their habit. So they will start to see what you are offering as something that they don't really need, they don't really want. They have a replacement, they are happy. You can get them back. And that's what the companies don't really get. We need entertainment, so we search for something else. And once we have that something else, it's really difficult to get our money back.
All right,
Exactly.
quick mention to the absolutely fantastic artist, Mr. Makani of Makani Draws, Makani90. How you doing, bud? I am glad to see you here in the chat. Thank you for dropping by. You're just one of those guys where it's kind of like a stop what you're doing and give him the mention. He's just that kind of guy. So, Mr. Gregory, why don't you tell us about the buckler? This is something that you ordered for yourself recently via Indiegogo. So why don't you tell us about it?
Looks like the Phantom.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, so
right?
this is from a fellow called John Dillard, aka Dillard Draws. This is a story unlike most things where it's told from the villain's perspective. He's not an anti-hero. He's not a he's a straight out villain. And this is, I think, his second story. I've ordered this one because I was watching him draw a couple of scenes when we were on stream for about maybe 2 or 3 hours. The guy's a phenomenally good artist. He has a ridiculously deep voice, probably because every 10 seconds he's got a cigarette in his mouth. But yeah, like his stuff is good. He was showing me the cover of that one. I got the second package, so I got the first graphic novel and this one. This is the second one. But yeah, just
hold on.
Is it just me, or it kind of reminds me of the Phantom?
Yeah, it looks
what
really like
said,
Phantom, but kind of jokey-ish.
A lot like him.
Well, is it this guy right here?
It was describing him as just the guy who just legitimately just doesn't give a fuck. His end goal is to justify everything, but he's smart, but he's not super smart. He's just one tough SOB.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the sort of stuff that, I mean, obviously to get shipped out here, it's way more. I probably could have bought, half a dozen books for the same price that I paid for the one, but at least now I get to know where it's going to. And the same thing, I also did Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter. So from Mandy Summers.
Oh yeah.
As well, because I know where that's going to. I prefer that than the DC, and until, I mean, apart from stuff like Last Ronin and Berserker, I mean, they're the only ones that I'm willing to put money for that are essentially mainstream. But yeah, so his stuff is it's great. His character is just ruthless and relentless and a bit of a horn dog, which is always good to see. So
I can tell.
Yeah,
it shows.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, they did. They just recently did Blue Bombshell and Pirate Queen #2. I really had fun reading Pirate Queen #1.
Me too.
Right, it was pretty fun.
Wait, there was words in the book.
Yeah.
Wow.
you kind of miss them with the artwork. It kind of gets second fiddle there.
I mean, the curbs are on Markany Draws level of curvature when it comes to the beauty of them.
Curve. I like how Makani has his own his own drawing definition of curves.
Yeah.
And that's true though. That is part of what he does. What's up, Tim F? And Philbo Baggins here says looks awesome. I'm backing it, and there it goes. Yeah, see. just like that. That's how the cookie crumbles.
By the way, I was thinking that part of the fellowship or the community or however you want to call it, has been doing a lot of good work. 2 books that were mentioned were from Mandy Summers, right?
Okay, what's she doing?
Pirate Queen and Vampire Hunter. Jack the Ripper, Vampire Hunter. Both of them have Mandy Summer working on them, right?
Okay. Oh, see, I did not know that. See,
There's a
I love that effect.
all right, for our buddy Mr. Raymond Stanley in the chat, he asks if I'm going to check out the comic, the best site to buy from. I'm presuming he's talking about what Mr. Greggy just spoke about. This, my friend, right here is the link for you right here. That's the link right there if you want to go check it out and consider backing it. That's where you want to go, my friend. That is the link. So hopefully you should be able to click on it from there. And Guyvervacman says that Pirate Queen looks fantastic. Yeah, I guess jury's out, man.
And apparently it has words in it. You learn something new every day.
it has words.
Always good.
MVP's gone Walt Disney on us.
I was gonna say, is this like Primal? Because I remember when I first watched Primal from Genndy Tartakovsky, that had absolutely no dialogue to it. So,
dude, he doesn't need it. Tartakovsky is the king of soundless action.
Seriously, he is fantastic. But, dude, so I've been on this. I think Lord Thoth before we get back on the subject of just working. Thoth, I'm so glad you mentioned Avengers 174 because that became the inspiration for obviously what came out earlier this morning. But dude, you were right, man. You were right. And I read that thing so many times over and over and over. I'm like, I had to do something about this. This needs to be seen in a greater light. And then the idea of doing a video happened, and then, well, the rest is simply history, man. Like, it's just one of those things. It's like, it's one of those, I feel like it's one of those comics that more people should know about.
I have 100 of those. I could go on and on. I think, Nick, that was an outstanding video. You did an amazing job, man.
Thank you.
I think that there's a lot of comics from that Bronze Age, especially, that really a lot of the people that are writing these stories today forget about. And you hit it out of the park.
No, they don't forget about it. They never touched it.
Yeah, and the problem is that when you look at the Hawkeye show and how utterly reprehensibly awful that is, awesome, yeah, right, awful that is, you look at that and you go, there are so many amazing Hawkeye stories, and then, Nick, you just picked one, and you ran with it. That Korvac saga is awesome. That individual story with Hawkeye is one of my, that's got to be in my top probably 25 stories of all time. Because
I can see why.
It's the underdog. He's not a powerful superhero. He's not Thor. He's not Iron Man. He's not Captain America. He has bolts and arrows. Like, come on. And so when I saw that video pop up, I went, oh, Flava Flavs, you did it. And I watched it, and it was awesome, man. Well done. I hope it's your #1 video because I'm so proud of you. That's just awesome.
Thank you. No, it's been, dude, it's been very, very well received. Like, it's just awesome to see people react to it the way that they did. Cause like, I've not attempted anything like that before. So like, I was like, okay. Now I was kind of looking at videos. I was literally looking at videos of what George and Max do for some influence. Cause George knows how to tell a story and Max knows how to show up the comic stuff. So I kind of took influence from both those ends and then put it in my Nick Weiser spin with the fast dialogue. And then that's how that thing came out, and I was like, okay.
That's how you do a character arc, right? He goes from being a criminal, a nobody, like a downtrodden punk. He becomes an Avenger, and then what does he do? He's like helps save the universe. Like it's
straight up.
Oh, it's so awesome. taking down the
Straight up.
Collector is just amazing. And by the way, the Collector is one of my favorite supervillains too. And it was just it's his tactical acumen in that book was very well written, and that's where you get stories written from guys with life experience. That it just shows.
Matlow was one of the writers, and it's one of those things where how do you do that, but also make it make sense and make it believable, because you're talking about a cosmic powered being who wields the power primordial, who's an elder space god, basically, the Collector. And then you got Hawkeye, and then you're like, okay, how do you do this and make it work? And when you read it, you believe it. You feel it within the context of the story, and you're like, holy crap, this actually makes a whole lot of sense. Like, I could see this now. And you see this guy, you saw that Clint applied his wits. You saw that Clint he applied knowledge and experience. He didn't have to think about strength. He didn't have to think about having power. He used his wits, and his wits outsmarted this guy. And you could tell, like, it got to a point where it was irritating the Collector, because he was the one thinking of Hawkeye as the punchline. And then here he was getting frustrated that he can't seem to keep this guy down, because you see him take down Thor, you see him take down Iron Man, you see him take down the Wasp. And then it's just like, oh, there's this one guy left. Oh, you should be easy. Oh, wait, hold on. What? You're not easy? What the crap is this? So it's great to see this guy who's this powerful get frustrated at a common man like you and I. Like, I'm like, oh, that's great. It felt like such a triumphant, heroic moment.
Now I gotta say, Nick, I would, if you tend to now videos that like kind of follow this track, dude, I think you would be incredible at doing so. My next recommendation would be Warlock, because I know you got that Warlock trade paperback.
Finished it.
If you picked a story from that, I would watch that on repeat, man. So I'm really excited for this new track, because, like you said, like you've been getting great reception on that Hawkeye video, and rightfully so. So yeah, man, I think because that's what I think a lot of comic channels need to start doing now is like, all right, we can bash and we can shit on stuff all we want, but like when we do a review of like an older comic or like an older story, that's what's like so much fun to do. So you really hit the nail on the head there.
Fun. Yeah. Seriously, doing that video is very fun. It was very fun, like preparing my argument and getting the panel set. It was very fun to do, and just talking about this killer story too. And what's great was, once again, with the writing, you could just pick that comic up off the shelves and still understood what was going on. And yet, if you were a seasoned reader, you would have benefited that much more, because obviously you're well invested in the Korvac saga. You're invested in the Avengers. You're invested in the Collector. So obviously the seasoned reader benefits that much more. But this was like, for me to just jump into a comic the way I did, and I'm like, oh man, crap! And I give credit to the writers, the editors, and the artists for pulling that off, because nowadays I see the words "new reader friendly" all the time, but what they say versus what they do are two different things. And they say it's always new reader friendly, but when you read it, like, I don't know about that. And that's not even, I'm not even talking about the bad books of Big Two, but even I guess you could say some of the better ones of recent years, it doesn't feel accessible in that regards unless you're more seasoned like one of us. And I would know, because I would have my younger brother would look at stuff, and he would be from that set of lenses. He would say what felt new reader friendly, and what 97% of the time he wouldn't say it felt accessible. Are you saying what Gregory's wearing on his head?
Yeah, I like that.
That's exactly what I love about American comics. There's a huge difference with manga. Manga is not something that you can just approach, because most of them are following an arc, and it's a huge story. Let's say One Piece, you will get lost immediately. On American comics, You read a Spider-Man book and it's Spider-Man. Automatically, it gives you everything that you need to know to understand that you are on that universe and you are enjoying that adventure.
Exactly.
And that's something that is amazing. You can go from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s and pick any book and you will be hooked. And
But that's why when it comes to the bastardization of Americanized comics, that's why there's such a visceral and automatic response, because it stops that flow where I can go look at any of Dan Slott's runs of Spider-Man and then go and look at some other ones, and why they are different stories and different ones, it's still the same character. But then you go to some of the newer stuff and it's completely different, and they take away the essence of what makes that. And that's why I like I mean, I love manga, but I love long form comics. But I think the way in which that it doesn't really matter. I could start halfway through a run and still be able to pick up where it is, because there's a lot of callbacks and references and different things that allow you to do that.
Yeah.
And you can find really good runs chock-a-block in the middle of a long story arc.
I think Carrie Smith said something tonight on Friday Night Tights that, like, in writers' rooms, you have people who have written this character for such a long time, or you have editors or creators that know the character so well that the character decides what to do next in the next story, not the creators. Like, the character is going to lead the story. Like, Peter Parker so well because he's been written by these big names, that the character is going to in turn like act on what Peter Parker would do. But now we're getting writers that are enacting what the writer would do, not the character. And so that's why we're seeing this like huge juxtaposition between, like, I don't remember the character ever doing that, but to the point of like be able to pick up a comic book and like read it and go, man, I kind of understand this. I'm not lost or anything. I think we're missing the old Silver and Bronze Age like panels and captions at the in the corner of each page.
Recaps,
everything.
By issue 237 or something like
references.
Or a
Well,
full page explaining you everything in the middle of the comic, just so they know that you are up to date.
Or even just like little character traits. Like, I remember reading Wolverine, and there's this little like panel up in the corner that's like, even though Wolverine was, wounded or whatever, his adamantium skeleton and healing factor takes over as he like rushes the enemy. So they're telling the plot, they're furthering the plot, but they're also kind of giving the reader, hey, this is his power set. This is like, so anyone can pick it up. So if you guys look
more
back
his
on some of
bestial
those,
rage that was taken over than
his berserker rage.
Yeah. Do you know it's kind of funny? I just wanted to say a couple of things, because MVP, Grant Gregory, and Pablo hit on a bunch of things right there, and I just want to say that I think MVP, especially there, you had a really good idea. This is something that you can do. Just do a video once a week or once every couple of weeks where you pick a story where these great characters are highlighted, where they're the underdog and they've come back. There's great Captain America stories, Iron Man, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. There's some great stories there that you could highlight and say, wow, these writers really knew these characters, like you're saying. And I think that in today's age, you're looking at Hawkeye as a great prime example, because this is a character that had some amazing stories, whether it was in his limited series, whether it was in West Coast Avengers, whether it was in the Avengers comics. Like, we're talking early days of the Avengers. And so you highlighted one story, but there's many stories where the writers knew the characters so well that they could portray them in a way that they came back from, this was over. That battle was over. The controller had won, and then bam, Clint Barton comes out of nowhere and kicks some butt. And I think if you look at a lot of what Klobby's been doing, I love a lot of the stuff he's been doing where
the spinner rack.
The spinner rack is great. I think that Klobby's also been doing some stuff on Monday nights, Mark C, those shows where you talk about comics, you're talking about the greatest heroes in your opinion of all time, and some of the stories they've been in. There's a reason those heroes, those characters are so integral in our zeitgeist, in all of our world that we love. That's why we're geeks, we're nerds, we love comic books, because these stories have been going on for 70, 80 years, and these characters are so primal. And so you have Superman is a primal character. He's truth, justice, and the effing American way, and I'm Canadian. And I think that character shouldn't be portrayed in a negative way. He should always be that symbol that we can relate to, that we want to aspire to. And the same for Wonder Woman.
Right.
My wife loves that character, and when they start to portray them in a negative light, she hates it. And Batman is he's the Dark Knight. That's another character. And I'm just going DC. You know, you have Captain America is the symbol of the flag. And he's a soldier who sacrificed everything for his country and for freedom. And what did we do? We turned him into a Yahtzee. So a lot of the stuff that's being written today is awful.
No, that's not canon. That's a night.
No,
But there's lots of stuff we can go back
He's
to.
still the canonical Iron Man. That's still
Yeah.
Captain America. He's
Captain
still,
America.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
you can
like,
let me just finish, and I think that's where I'm going back to here. Full circle is Nick, is if you want to do some stories and you dig into the gold, silver, bronze age of stories of these great characters.
Oh, I
there's great
plan on
stories
it.
there.
There will be more.
You can
will be
ignore
more.
the crap that's
you
going on
do-
today and go back into the past.
I think
Nicholas,
it'd
I
be great
got
to see you do Uncanny X-Men 133, Wolverine versus the Hellfire Club.
Hulk.
Wolverine lashes out.
I think Clobberin had something.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, Nick. Because I love what you did with that video, and I love what everyone's
Thank
saying
you.
here. I've got a bunch of them playing. I mean, I started back around November planning all the ones I wanted to do, similar to what you're doing. You just did it, so that's fantastic. And there's so many. 10 of us with channels couldn't do them all. As far as bringing out individual stories that need to be put into the spotlight, like you did. I got a bunch of them planned. I don't know where to start, but I'm working on some in the next couple of weeks or the month. But man, dude, I love the way you did it, and you need to do more, like everyone is saying. And I can't do them all. No one can do them all. So I'll throw
Okay.
something at you.
Oh, trust me, I'm not done. Trust me, I'm already.
I think your style works
I've-
too, Nick.
I am gonna do another Hawkeye one, so there will be another Hawkeye one, and I've got a few Daredevils that I'm eyeing at as well.
There you go.
DD, love DD.
Yeah, and I
Good.
am actually eyeing at some Power Man and Iron Fist too. So yeah, so
Well,
trust me. All with
there's so
all in
many
due
great
time.
comics,
There's
man.
so many. That's on my
And Clobby,
and I
long
have so
live the
much
Legion,
fun.
brother. We
Long
still
live the
need
Legion,
to do
bro.
that Legion
And
one, because
I
there's
can't
some
wait,
great
man.
stories there.
I can't wait. MVP and I are doing one Wednesday night.
Oh, which
Hell
one are you
yeah,
doing
buddy.
Wednesday night?
Can't
Well,
wait.
not Legion, but the Legion are in there.
Oh.
Whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow? The
But-
end of the Real Deal Superman for my Real Deal Superman.
Man,
the
speaking-
Gold and Silver and Bronze Age.
Speaking about the
Outstanding
Legion of
comic.
Superheroes, anyone knows any of their best arcs? Stories.
Oh
I mean.
my goodness!
Fancy.
Yeah.
Tune into Clobby and when we do our stream, and you'll get
I'm
lots of
glad to
that.
help you with that. And LT's the best at it. So yeah.
Why, that would be hella.
All right, forgive me for the cutting off, but I had to because Mr. Guyvervacman for $5 says, I have a feeling it's going to be a good year. Of course it's going to be a good year. You know, I'm going to tell you this, and I mean this with absolute sincerity, from the panelists to the chat, subscribers, non-subscribers even. Your year is what you make of it. I know that should be common sense, but it really is. And since this whole spiel that became what's going on in the world happened, that was when I realized in my life I needed to get this channel started, because I had known a few months before this all happened I want to do a YouTube channel. But once that happened, I'm like, okay, if you don't start this now, when are you going to start this? So it became like a now or never, and I got started, and then obviously is one of the best moves I've ever made with my life. And all I'm trying to say is just go for it, swing for the fences, do whatever it takes possible to make this year and year going forward your best year yet. I didn't sit around sucking on my thumb waiting for daddy government to move my world in order for me to enjoy it. I went out and moved the damn world myself, and I would not change anything about it. And damn it, Raymond. Our buddy
Straight
Mr.
to the
Raymond.
moon.
I know, it never gets old. Mr. Raymond for 556 says, my friend, thank you for the chill session. Well, thank you for the 556. And Guyvervacman, thank you for the $5. So I appreciate you guys. No, seriously though. All I'm just saying is, guys, you make your year, and as long as you apply yourself to it, it will happen. You'll have a few road bumps. That's par for the course. Trust me, I live in Illinois. I know all about road bumps. That's, once again, you learn to roll with the punches, but once you do, the rewards are worth it. And this tonight is a reward in itself. I get to hang out with my friends on Friday night. I get to drink Knob Creek whiskey, and we get to talk comics. So, and thank you, TZ Canadian, and hail to TZ Canadian, by the way. Nice to see you here. And yes, to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Dude, cheers to that. Cheers to that, Guyvervacman. Cheers.
Yeah, but
Yeah, here. So whether, I don't care if you're straight edge, if you drink, if you smoke, if you don't, whatever, if you do all of them, I don't care. But I send this out. I send this out to all of you. Yeah, cheers to Knob Creek. Oh,
yes, indeed. But
Putting up a soda.
yeah, that was, dude. That issue, it brings back memories. I need to go back and read it. Seeing you talking about it, 174. The Korvac saga was one of the best Avengers sagas, really. Even though it was, it's weird thinking back.
I finally read it for once, and I gotta say, the cartoon got nothing on it.
We're gonna let him go. Go ahead, Clobberin.
No, I'm just trying to remember that. And I think I have a reprint of it from what I haven't looked at in a while. But wasn't it? It's weird. David Wenzel, the guy that drew that, never drew any other comics almost, other than like a Conan issue here and there. And
really?
But if you look, he's a fantasy artist now that does a lot of Tolkien art and stuff like that.
Okay.
And,
I think you're right, actually.
That's cool.
It's him. It's David Wenzel. He never did anything else. I mean, you have some Perez covers on that. Of course, Jim Shooter, Bill Mantlo, a couple of them, Devin Michaelini, a couple other writers did the story. But that was when Perez was kind of doing other things. And like, man, if only Perez had done the art on that. But still, it's a great story.
It is.
Wow.
It's one of my favorites.
Who else is because Nick, I think what not only was it a great video, but you kind of shed light on a character that is pretty underrated. Are there any characters, DC or Marvel? I know there are, but for you guys, who are some of your underrated characters that you think could have some brilliant comics written on them, or I want to say movies done on them, but not right now, like later.
No, let's talk about comics. No, I agree.
That is one for me.
Fenrir, go ahead. Be the first one to start.
Well, he was honestly. Well, anyone here ever heard about the Ray?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he was an old school hero. Typical stuff, light powers, etc. He was a fun guy. Obviously, he wasn't used much. I mean, he had a couple of in and there's with some characters, Superman, Superboy, Young Justice, but he wasn't really a big name. So, but because of that, he was kind of fucked royally modernly. So yeah, he's not that great. But yeah, I think he has a lot of potential that, if done correctly, it could evolve the character better. I mean, he's a legacy character, a person who inherited a legacy from his father, the old Ray from the Golden Age, if I remember correctly, with the Freedom Fighters.
Yes.
So yeah, it could be done correctly, but no one in modern time can do him right. They just made him gay straight up.
I was going to say that he was gay in the CW, so
yeah, they made him gay.
Yeah,
he's a butt fighter now.
Could I go next?
And the shitty one.
Yeah, go ahead, Grant.
There's one character that I'm an avid fan of, and I think it's a character that consistently divides fan bases through and through. But I want to see a really, really good story on Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
He's good. He's like one of my favorites, and he's had little moments here and there to shine. But I initially thought Guy Gardner came in on the Crisis and Infinite until I've been doing a bit of thing, and I didn't realize that he came out freaking 30 years earlier. So that's what I'm trying to get into now. So there might be some good stories of him back then, but I think something now with him would be perfect. I think there's a redemption story that needs to be told for him, even though I don't feel he's done something that I don't think that he needs redeeming. I just think in the eyes of the fans, he was written his introduction. People always remember
Yeah.
his introduction. I think that's the problem.
True. They should probably also erase that warrior crap too.
Do you know what would be great? An,
Oh,
H-
have
an,
at it, Thoth. Go
an
for it.
HBO Max Justice League International show, like the comic. I have my ups and downs with it when Batman gives him the slug and
Scary.
one punches him and stuff. But can you imagine an HBO Max? So I'm talking R-rated Guy Gardner series that involved ice, fire, all those crew from those guys. Can you imagine? So you have the eroticism and the hotness of fire. You have ice with her coldness. You have Guy Gardner.
Wait, it's
with
gonna
his
be a
big
show
grin.
or an adult movie?
Well, it's HBO Max.
Let him finish the story and then we'll decide.
So a softcore porn, okay.
Just think what The Witcher should have been, kind of thing, right?
With better
That-
action.
And I agree with you, Guy Gardner. # save gingers. I think that is a great one.
Oh, come on.
Chuchi,
Come on,
pulled
Todd.
it out. That's a
Todd,
good
you
one.
know. Todd, you know what he's going to
I mean,
be
we
if
haven't
they
said
put him
my
in
initials. I've got to go
HBO.
with Guy Gardner.
He's going to be...
Save gingers.
Save gingers.
Okay,
Yeah.
Show it again, MVP. Show it again.
camera's a little bushy.
This is our.
The first
Oh,
Frank
is it?
Miller
Sorry.
run right there.
DD.
Oh, yeah, Daredevil was a ginger.
He's supposed to be,
That's
yes.
Supposed
Yep.
to.
Yeah.
Save the ginger.
That's that Frank Miller run there. You got there, dude. You got
To all the
Yeah.
people out there looking at this video, remember, what does ginger spell if you're dyslexic? And put that logic with the companies.
Pablo.
With that logic.
Pablo's been silent. Pablo, who
Oh, he's
MVP
probably
had
smoking a blunt.
MVP had a great question. I would love to hear what Pablo has to say.
I think I missed the question, but we were talking about characters that we wanted to see on film or anything.
Highlighted as far as like a great comic or character that is like who should have more recognition the way
yeah.
Hawkeye deserves more
Another
I
recognition.
huge
have two
character.
characters that I want to see, but I don't think they are going for them. One
That's
is
fine.
Matt
We're here to
Gargan.
dream. We're here to
Yeah.
this is purely dreaming, right?
Okay,
now.
You're the
so one
publisher.
is Matt Gargan. I want to see a proper Scorpion versus Spider-Man done on screen.
Oh.
You know, now you have J. Jonah Jameson on that universe, so you could do something really, really fun with that. I am sensing that they are chickening out on that. And the other one is the Iceman from the Spider-Man cartoon. If you ever saw the Spider-Man cartoon, Spider-Man and Friends, the Iceman,
Yeah.
that Iceman, nobody remembers it.
No, they don't.
Spider-Man and his amazing,
Amazing
friends.
Iceman. Firestar. Dude.
What happened with that character?
Dude, I used to watch those episodes religiously. Between
Didn't
that
they get
and,
rid of the one with Sunfire, though?
Spider-Man. Dude, with Firestar, that was Amazing Friends. I can't remember. Yes,
I still
and-
have a soft spot for
What
that
happened?
animated series.
But
Dude.
what happened
Spider-Man
with
and
this
the Amazing
character?
Friends. I still do.
Dude, so good. Yes, I
I'm
agree.
not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
see,
I've never
Scorpion-
seen it, though.
Scorpion would
Oh,
be
you need
good. And who's your second character, Pablo?
That one, Iceman from
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Iceman.
the
Yeah,
cartoon.
Iceman. Okay, yeah. So I missed that.
The
So
straight
Scorpion
Iceman, not the gay one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
It was not the X-Men Iceman. That Iceman was a completely random Iceman that I think they created for that show.
Yep.
Mhm.
So it was a kind of crazy, over-the-top character, and I miss him somehow.
So
We all
Claudia,
missed the good old fun Iceman.
Clubby, who's a character that you got that you feel like there needs to be some comic highlights? I mean, obviously, it sounds like you got some videos in the works, so you already have some ideas in mind. Who do you feel like you could spoil? I guess you can say, who do you feel comfortable spoiling?
Well, if you want to go with characters that have just really never been used very much or never used well or haven't used, man, that's a tough. There's so many that are kind of, lesser seen characters. I would, of course, You know, LT, I'm gonna have to go with a Legionnaire. Are you shocked? Put on your shocked face.
Here we go.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up, brother.
I'm gonna go with my boy Wildfire.
Oh, I would love that.
I love him so much. He's one of the. He's a I don't know what it is with me and tragic characters, but he's got a great tragic backstory. He's my favorite Legionnaire, not named Superboy or Monel. So he's just a great character, Drake Burroughs, and yeah, he was even Legion leader for a while. He was in the book a lot, but he never got any of his own exploits. Almost never. There was an orange.
Which version?
They did. Only the only one that counts, the Bronze Age version. Nothing else matters for that.
Well, he was always
nothing else Legion matters after that.
Yeah, he was always with Dawnstar, or he was always with the team. Like there was no real solo stuff. Like he didn't really get a chance to shine. Good point. Yeah.
Well, they had one issue where they finally dealt with his origin after
his origin
many years.
It's like 282 or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. Toward the end of the Baxter run, when Quislet gave him physical form, I didn't like them doing that.
I didn't like that either.
But he's one because I wanted to go with someone off the wall that never had his own series. Because at least some of these characters, even if they're obscure, have had their own series at one point. Man,
but who do you who do you cast as Dawnstar though? Like who? Because obviously in
I was talking comics. I mean, we're talking movies.
Well, yeah. If you're going to do a live action show, you're going to have Drake Burroughs. Who would you cast as Wildfire? Who would you cast as Donnie?
Oh, I thought we were just talking about doing comics of characters. But
we'll let Thoth entertain it.
Yeah, I don't want a movie done of him or any other real Legionnaire. They're already about to do a horrible DC animated quote-unquote adult Legion of Superheroes cartoon by that idiot.
Oh, dude, you know it's going to be horrible. Guess who's going to be one of the main producers?
It's
Little Boy Bendis.
Bendis is in charge of it. And it's based on
why?
His filthy new Legion. So
his new one didn't even end. It didn't even have a stable story. It just literally jumped into some crap no one even understood.
Didn't begin either.
It made no sense.
That's a good one, D-Bud. Quizlet. Yeah.
But I agree with you. Wildfire's in my top 3 Legionnaires. I love that character. You and I have that in common. It's funny because I love Ben Grimm too, and it's funny the tragic characters are always the ones who you can tell the best stories about. I think that's really what they've lost in Hollywood today, and what they've lost in a lot of these stories.
They don't know how to say good stories anymore.
They don't. It's the tragic hero's journey. That's what it's all about. And Superman's a prime example. That is a tragic hero's journey. He lost everything. He came to Earth and was raised by a Midwestern family that instilled in him those American values, that core that makes him such a great person. And it's the same thing for a lot of these characters. It's that hero's journey. We're not getting that anymore. So Wildfire would be awesome.
We don't. Especially if you're a female character.
We'd have to set it in the right time period, of course, as you know, LT. It would have to be set in the real deal Bronze Age Legion because I'm the publisher at this point in this scenario. And I get to call the shots.
I love
it. The 30th. So the 30th century, not the 31st.
30th,
century.
Not the 31st.
That's right. It'd be like 2965 would be the perfect time.
Not the candy ass 31st century.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everyone hates that century.
Yeah, that century sucks.
That
31st
was absolute garbage.
Let me ask you a question, guys. Does any one of you remember the Phantom movie?
Yes.
I try to forget it.
The Billy Zane one?
I actually like it.
The Phantom had a movie.
Did not mind it.
The Phantom had a movie.
The Phantom had a movie.
Yeah, and a killer TV show.
Zane.
It was a cartoon show. The cartoon show was really good.
Yeah, the 2040 cartoon.
You like that one?
I remember seeing it.
About the Ian Flux guy, you like the cartoon? Cool. Okay.
The Ian Flux, I saw a bit of it, but I never finished it.
All right, guys, I hope you forgive me for this, and I'm sure you really won't complain about this, but I really had to do this 2 times.
Double fisted.
So Glinzer,
you never get sick of seeing that.
Glinzer for $5 says MCU made me start collecting Masterworks omnibuses. I think older comics especially 70s Marvel, is a lot better than the MCU. You know what? I'll say yes, that is true, but I'm also glad that it made you say, hey, I like what I see here with these movies. I want to look into the source material. So you know, for all the crap we give the MCU, it's good to know there are people who saw what they saw and they gained this idea of, hey, I should see what's going on here with the source material, and they did. So thank you for the $5, and I appreciate the input. I'm glad you saw the material, and hopefully you continue to enjoy that for years to come. And Mr. TZ Canadian for $10 says, I just ordered my pizza, Nick. So here's some money for your Friday.
There you go.
Oh my
Pizza
God.
time.
You're too kind, TZ Canadian.
There
Thank you
you
for
go.
$10. And Glenn, sir, thank you again for the $5. And I see Joe Kicks Ass in the chat. What's up, Joe Kicks Ass? Cheers and beers. It's Friday night. We're partying. And okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
You know,
who is not gone?
Billy Zane's
what-
Phantom, by the way, I just want to say that's I love that movie. It's
I
very
like
faithful
it
to
too.
the comic.
It's good.
And it's got the great Patrick McGoohan as the 20th Phantom, because of course Billy Zane's the 21st Phantom. And
Was
his-
it Christy
his father-
Swanson in that?
Yes, she was.
Yep.
And Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh my God! Oh yeah.
And-
Okay.
Watch it.
And
It's
Treat
really
Williams.
crazy.
And it was directed by Simon Windsor. I love that movie.
I was doing a flashback and I'm thinking I haven't seen that in 30 years.
Yeah. Been a while.
Maybe it was better than I thought it was.
So
Give it a
tough.
shot.
He is way better than things
It's very
that
throwback. It's close to the
can see today.
Rocketeer type.
Oh,
I
I love the
it.
Rocketeer.
It's similar to that vein.
Hey,
because of that period piece. But go ahead.
Yes.
Who look who made it to Orlando.
Oh, Ruben, you made it. What's up, Ruben?
Congratulations.
Hey,
Glad
Ruben.
Hey,
Hail, brother.
glad to hear.
Congrats.
I'm glad to hear you made it. That's awesome, dude.
And
I can.
The Madman is here too.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Madman is here. All right. Guys, for
Mhm.
anyone who did not catch the latest Toxic Tuesday, Mad had a incredible skit on
Oh,
the
boy.
Goodfellas Toxic Tuesday that will go down in history. I'm just saying it was huge. It was huge. Like it was, yeah, it was. Trust me, this was one of those things where you got 50 people in the chat, prime time, and everyone's just like, what is going on here? And yeah, Mad, that he timed that very well, because that was at the point where the chat was at the peak, and he came in, did that, and the rest was simply history. So please catch the Goodfellas Toxic Tuesday replay. I promise you, if you did not hear it, it's worth your 2 hours and 15 minutes. And trust me, you can don't take my word for it. Take the video's word for it, because that video speaks for itself. Anyways, Ironcaster, who's a character you got, or two? If you got two, two's good too.
Actually, I've got one in particular I could show off. That
Yeah?
ones I would absolutely love to see with the advancements in CGI technology.
Mhm.
A lesser known X-Men related character.
Ooh, okay.
One of my absolute favorite
I know
characters
what
from
you're
the
gonna say.
which. Oh,
Starts
let's
with
see
an
if
M,
you
doesn't
can
it?
guess it.
Starts with an M.
I think I actually know two.
That's
No.
what I was thinking of
Oh,
starting
okay,
with an
never
M.
mind.
I'm thinking Warlock.
Oh wow, that's weirder than one I thought.
Which-
I thought Morph, but yeah.
He's
I was thinking Morph as well.
no,
Yeah.
he's.
I thought
he's
you were
like
going to
a-
go
he's
for
like a-
Mimic.
He's like a sentient pile
He's
of
really-
like angry wires and scribbles that can just take things over.
He's
like
like
a
the
mechanical
embodiment of those
earthworm
gene.
old 80s rock band cartoons.
Yep.
He's just like he can take things over with a touch of his hand and just take over
Right.
technology.
Yeah, that's a very
And-
Ironcaster choice, buddy. Good one.
Oh God, yes, and just the amount of
It literally has like
crazy,
magic and iron in it. Of course, he likes it.
Yeah, it's like the character's like if Plastic Man was technology.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
good.
All right.
that
Nice.
could be really good.
That is so mechanical, Earthworm Jim.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
He's
Bill
like a
Alright,
mechanical
Sienkiewicz,
earthworm Jim.
like did a wonder when he helped introduce the character.
All right, I had to intentionally interrupt the show because I had to get a very intentional Shout out to the absolutely awesomely fantastic RM Raquel Briggs. How are you? Prickly bugger, she says. How are you? Nice to see you here in the chat. Thank you for
Hey.
dropping by.
Number one. Love you,
Right?
love you, number one.
You are definitely missed around these parts of the world, so I am absolutely happy to see you here, and say hi to your husband as well too. So I'm glad to see you. Glad to know you and your husband and the family are keeping it alive and well. Look what she says. Nice one.
And Raquel has the avatar that looks exactly like her.
Yeah, that's actually her. That's actually Raquel's
That's
cosplay.
actually
That's con
her.
right there. Admit it, Raquel. That's you at a con.
Wow, that's amazing cosplay, Raquel.
Yeah.
See, what would we
Love you, number one.
really? Would we really expect anything less from her? Like, come on. We do expect nothing less from the best. Come on. All right, Ironcaster, forgive me. She deserved the honorable mention. So
Guys,
I'm
if you
sure
keep talking about it like that, she's gonna get inflated head over it.
Nothing better than seeing a Telosian in a bikini. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh, come on, man. So
nobody's
so
gonna
many
raspberry
lumps.
Ironcaster on that one.
I think so.
So the character of Warlock is an alien, which ironically has a father named Magus, which is also tied to
Magus?
the other.
Is it Magus or Magus?
Magus.
Yeah, Magus. So it's like you have two Warlocks and Maguses in Marvel, which gets a little confusing.
Yeah.
But this was one of the first non-human mutants that was ever introduced with the X-Men, and which is introduced exceptionally well with the New Mutants like 19.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Bill Sienkiewicz helped introduce him with the Demon Bear saga.
Mm-hmm.
He comes from a species that is composed of like technology, and so when he comes to Earth, he would look at things like, let's see, he's saying, "New friends wish to fly with self for a while." Affirmative. Thank you. He just like I guess a couple of drones had been shot at them, and he just like jumped out to possess them and make them and take them over and make them sentient. And like for example, like they consume organic matter, so they'll convert people, animals, nature into matter like them. And so, for example, he'll go to a refrigerator, and because he's used to communicate, he's used to talking to computers and all this advanced technology as though it's like part of his own people.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at the fridge, is like, "Oh, this makes sense. You're storing your food for later to convert into nutrients." And part of his people's thing is you have the Magus and the children, what they're called, the Warlocks, and the Magus has to go and defeat the children or be defeated by them, which it then becomes the new Magus. So there's always this sense of evolution with them where always the next one, the strongest one, the next impressive one is going to come along to improve.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Doomsday.
Right.
What was that?
Kind of like Doomsday. You know, he dies,
Yeah. He's an
he
interesting character.
becomes adapted to. Yep.
Kind of. Oh yeah, I see what you're getting at. But yeah, like I said, he's a character that you can go just completely crazy with CGI.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sadly only been seen like one time in an animated form in like with the later seasons of X-Men the animated series.
Can't wait to see him in Guardians of the Galaxy 5.
Yeah, they had that one episode.
Mhm.
Yeah, they made him married and this kind of
was a
educated guy.
crazy.
Yeah, that is not
That run
Warlock.
of New Mutants. That Sienkiewicz run of New Mutants that he first appeared in was just insane. You know, Claremont, of course, co-created, but that was New Mutants was kind of a stale, dead title till they came on and did. It was a weird art style. It was Sienkiewicz kind of going nutty with the art style, but it was pretty big. That was pretty big at the time. I remember a lot of people really liked it.
This is a character you can go completely crazy with.
Yeah.
where you can do
Yeah,
just about
yeah.
anything with them.
You can make it fun.
Which there was a part of the New Mutants run. They had to one of the characters in there, Doug Ramsey, Cypher, had died, and they had to try to explain to Warlock the concept of death because he didn't understand it. So part of it is part of one of the issues. He goes to the funeral home and he steals Doug's body and tries to bring him back to them. Like, oh look, I've returned friend Doug to us, and they're like, Warlock, no, you have to. He's dead. You can't. It was this really heartbreaking story where someone who doesn't understand the concept of death has to be explained it.
Yeah, it's like telling your kid that his dog's dead.
Ironcaster for the win. This is a great pick. I mean, just something way out there, so totally out there. It should be done. It can be done.
Seriously.
And those early issues of the New Mutants, if you wanted to talk about diversity in comics, that comic was the most diverse comic on the market at the time.
Dude, you know that's not the diversity they talk about. It's different.
But they did it naturally, though.
It was that. It was very. It was one of those things where it was like it's kind of like when you saw the first Blade movie in 1998 with Wesley Snipes, and you're watching it for what it was. You didn't have these weird preconceived notions of CRT based information or the current modern day buzzwords. It was just, oh hey, here's this movie based off of a Marvel Comics character who happens to have a vampiric background. And you just watched it, and whether you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it is another conversation. But it's just you watched it for what it was. You didn't have all this hub that's nowadays where they are all about the buzzwords before the movie.
Yeah, the CW is gonna get canceled because of that. It just brings me joy.
It looks like some of that Sienkiewicz stuff right there. There was some him in his experimental phase right around before he did Stray Toasters. Yes, that was a Marvel epic comic. Yes.
But yeah, with what we're able to do with technology today with the CGI, this is a character who would frankly be a really bold and insane concept to bring. If people can accept Groot and Rocket Raccoon like they're nothing, and Ultron was accepted fairly well. This is completely alien as a character,
and you could go horror too with the virus.
Oh yeah, right. You can connect. I was thinking you can connect him with Cable.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I think part of it was they had introduced that his species infects people with the techno-organic virus.
That's how they assimilate. So it's very much a Borg idea, but he, of course. The character that you're highlighting here very well, by the way, is as a character that's on the good side of things. But his father, when I say father, I say in quotes, obviously, because of the whole background with this character and that his whole alien race. But that they assimilate. That's how they do deal with it, right? But he didn't do that because he got sentience and then he got connected to Doug person. And then he kind of he grew as a sentience, and then so when the whole techno-organic virus story came about, it was a great story. I mean, spoilers: he kind of dies, but not really. And then the whole thing with Doug Ramsey and that character dying, and then coming back to life, and then. It's a great storyline. Wow, what a great pull! That's a good pull.
Yeah, Ironcaster. Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to top this, but dude, hell yeah to you, my friend. This is so good.
Before anything, I have to jump
it, man.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, me too. I gotta go.
Okay, no, it's fine. What we'll do is we'll make it nice, fast, and snappy. So we'll start off with Fenrir. Plug your channel real quick, my friend.
I am Fenrir the Ice Wolf. I like to comment and talk about the stupidity of mankind and the destruction of the culture we all love and have dearly. Mainly, you know where to find me. Just put the name out there on YouTube, or you can go out there and search for me on Twitter. I am in that ocean of poison, and I am slowly dying. Please, someone save me.
So depressing.
Wow, dude, we'll be all right. We'll take care of you, man.
Yeah.
You guys give me a life.
We
So
need you,
I'm
buddy.
gonna go
Hang
take
on.
a nap. I'm gonna go take a nap because I'm really needing it. Clobby, if any of you guys have a list of good Legion of Superheroes arcs, please send it to me. I
I
just
will.
want to go into the old stuff.
I will, bro. You got it. And just, I'll say
It'll be
one
about
right
80
away.
pages long.
The Great
Yep.
Darkness Saga. That's one. There are many, but go for that one. There you go.
And
All right,
actually,
thanks, man.
Amazon has that trade paperback on sale right now. You can go get it for like nothing. But the Great Darkness Saga,
Ooh.
great recommendation.
That's-
My number one too.
That's
All
the
right,
greatest
all right.
story
Just
ever.
send me a list of the best ones. I want
right,
to get
bud.
entertained this week.
All right,
I need to forget some
Fender.
stuff.
Hey, thank
All
you.
right,
for coming
peace,
on,
my
dude.
brothers.
Take
Stay
care.
safe.
Later,
All
brother.
right.
Happy
Take care.
happiness for
Soon.
you and your families. Peace to you all.
Be good, buddy.
Thank you. Pablo, plug in your channel.
Hey, my channel is Geekropology, and if you enjoy Spanish, mi necesito español. We are going to do a stream tomorrow that's gonna be fun with Tom. So we are gonna teach him how to say
Ooh.
tacos, maybe. No, it's gonna be really fun. Other than that, Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everyone! And please try to stay sane this year. Whatever happens, we are gonna laugh it up.
There you go.
Amen.
That's right, my man. That is right. And you get
Cheers,
some
I'll
nice
drink to that.
shouts out from
Yeah.
Miss Raquel and
Be good, buddy.
TZ saying Pablo and see you, Pablo. So, sir, hey, as always, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for your time and your friendship. And I will see you next Friday. It feels good
Bye-bye.
to say that again, next Friday. So, till we do this again, my friend. And now MVP, I'm sure you want to plug in as well. So, go out with a bang, my friend. And if you got anything you want to plug in, please plug in.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you so much. So yeah, you guys can find Maxfield Von Priestley, MVP are the initials. And I really don't have anything that as far as like content that I want to plug too much, just comic book and comic book related news, reviews, and any type of creative content that I can think of. However, I will leave everyone with basically the comics that I got this past 2 weeks as like recommendations. You guys can find this digitally, but I would try and recommend finding yourself Punisher issue number 94 and 95, drawn by Frank Turan. He said, what was that last one? Update the comm. Yeah, I definitely gotta get some new Wi-Fi or computer or something. It's brutal. And then the last one I'd recommend is that Frank Miller Daredevil run, because it's absolutely incredible. And yeah,
That
these
was
covers are just absolutely
Great,
fire.
man. Revolutionary.
MVP,
so
we
yeah.
need to talk about DD someday because
Oh, hey, you invite me onto that. I know I'm not one to just invite myself, but come on, Daredevil's like a dog whistle for me. I'm
got-
just
No,
saying.
Nick, I'll get all of you on there. We'll do it there.
All right, it's
Yeah.
on.
that's a
All right,
great
Max.
one.
All right,
Yep.
Max, we'll shut up so you can keep talking.
No,
Sorry.
No,
You got me
now
excited.
his image is perfect. As he's leaving.
that was all I got. That was all I had to say. Is just Punisher, Daredevil, and yeah, we'll all do one large Daredevil stream where we can just gush away at that Frank Miller run and just the character in general. Because talk about a tragic story. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, the best heroes have some of the most tragic stories. So, but yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys are so great. Thank you always for having me. And I'm so glad to spend the new year with you guys. There's going to be some really interesting talks and some pretty interesting superhero news. So it's going to be fun hanging with you guys. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you, sir, and thank you as always for coming back. I appreciate it. I know you obviously got a crazy schedule, so anytime I can get you on is always appreciated. And you got some awesome compliments about your amazing statues from Miss Briggs saying about the Venom and the Superman.
Yeah.
So pretty
And don't
awesome.
forget Wednesday night, buddy. Don't forget Wednesday night, bro.
Oh, you
We're
heard
still
it,
on, right?
Wednesday night.
We're still on, man. Huh?
Yeah, I got.
I'll have to stay up for that Wednesday night.
I've got it down on my calendar, Clobby. What time are we doing that, by the way, for everyone who wants to watch?
There you go. Let the chat know.
9 p.m. Central.
Okay.
That works for you. So that's obviously
9
earlier for you, a lot earlier for you, but that would be 7 for you, I think, right? You're out west or east. I don't know where you are, man.
He's writing it down.
Krypton. What time is that Krypton time?
That is in the Fortress of Solitude. That is 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, there you go.
Or in the
Nice reference.
in the Phantom Zone. Yeah, it's 7 p.m. for me. So
Looking forward to it, brother. Thank you.
no, hey, thank you, man. So yeah, chat. You guys want to see an excellent Superman story? I will be honored to be in the presence of Klobby's channel as we talk about Superman. Whatever happens to the Man of Tomorrow. So,
woo! I will be listening to that as a fan Wednesday night. I can't wait. All right,
And MVP,
go ahead,
just
Todd.
sorry, buddy.
Oh, you're good.
Just one thing, I love your, of course, the surfer statue in the background there, but
oh yeah,
I also see that you have the my favorite character from the Marvel Universe right next to him in the yellow costume. Do you know what I just got last week
Wolverine.
from Sideshow?
did you get
Wolverine.
the Wolvie?
Yes, the Wolvie in the brown costume with the two heads. Do you got the brown costume one?
No,
Oh,
I have the Jim Lee blue costume, but
Yeah,
that
I
Mark
love that one, but
Silvestri.
the
Yeah,
the
like
brown costume, man. I'm like, it's right highlighted in my man cave downstairs, and my wife walks by it every time. I still have the foam coverings on his claws because they're like a foot long almost. That statue is immense, and it's just he's like growling and he's like leaping with his claws out.
Is that the one where he's like this? He's got the two hands back and he's like jumping forward, kind of.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. And
Dude, so
it was
awesome.
worth the customs and the shipping charges to get it from California to Ottawa, Canada. Yeah,
Wow.
it's an amazing statue. I have a soft spot for the brown costume, but I love both, like the yellow and the brown. It's just great. So I love that you have an eclectic group of heroes and anti-heroes behind you there. That's awesome.
This was Wolvie with in the Daredevil series with his brown costume.
Yep.
Such a great cover.
This
But,
was right after
uh,
Miller left. That was right after Miller left.
Great cover. Yeah. It's so funny.
Senti?
Right.
Is that Endo Senti? No.
Probably Jenny O'Neill or somebody like that, but it was Klaus Jensen did the cover.
Yeah, this is Jansen.
But it's right after Miller left. I mean, right after him.
Yeah, this is issue 196 of July of 83.
And a shout out to the chat. If you want to pick up old Daredevil issues from say 100 to 200, amazing stories, and you can get them really cheap right now in the back issue market, especially in a lot of auctions. Because I'm filling out my collection. I've got most of zero, of course, number 1 and to 100, but there's a few issues here and there that I don't have, but they're going really cheap for like VF plus to near mint level comics, man. Just look at the auctions out there and get them, because Daredevil is really an underrated character. Like, we're talking about underrated characters tonight. He's one of them. You can get great stories, great Silver Age and Bronze, especially Bronze Age stuff. That's just awesome.
No,
And on that note,
all right,
yeah,
go
on
ahead.
that note,
We'll shut up, MVP.
No. I'll get out of y'all's hair because I want you guys to talk more about Daredevil so I can get out of here.
All right,
but
take care, dude. Thank
Hey,
you as
thank you.
always.
thank you guys so
All right,
much.
buddy.
Hey, good hanging with y'all. I'll
Take
talk
care,
to y'all
man.
soon. All right, bye.
Fire in the hole.
All right, so before we carry forward, I see Dragon Master 360. I see the Gilk Man. Hail to you, my friend. Nice to see you here. And I, Guyvervacman, I got a bolt. Have a great weekend and a great new year. You as well, my friend. Thank you very, very much. So, and I see T-shirt historian driving through and leaving you a big old thumbs up, Nick. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. So, and RN, that's a nurse. Series completion is never cheap. I accept gold key. Oh man, yeah, it's never cheap, but sometimes the battle is worth it. Sometimes it is. And then there were 5 left. So Ironcaster, I'm not gonna be able to top you, but I'm just wow. You're so well said with what you said. Like I'm like, man, I'm not gonna top this guy, but I can live with that. I'll admit part of that is in thanks to the alcohol I've been consuming tonight, enjoying listening to you speak. So that is definitely a contributing factor to that. But
Thank you.
if I had to give a character who I would like to, this is practically a giveaway of a character I'm going to do a story that's focused on his character. I'm so fair which issue I'm going to do, but it will be a character I will touch. Captain Cold. I'm a big Leonard Snart fan.
Hmm.
I love the concept of the Rogues. I love the concept of a man who simply just has a cold gun who can go against Barry Allen. And he was like, I'm a man of wits, and I'm going to take on the fastest man alive. And once again, he makes it make sense. When you take the common man versus a guy who is capable of the Speed Force, and you're like, holy crap, how does that work? Because when you think of the Flash, you're thinking you gotta have a guy like, reverse Flash, predictable name, but it's just an obvious but makes sense mention. But when you got a guy like Captain Cold, Leonard Snart, he assembles the Rogues, he gets the Trickster, Golden Glider, Heat Wave, Weather Wizard. But even on his own merits, he's dangerous. Sometimes I feel like I'd make a better argument. I feel like he's even more dangerous when he's on his own. So I am definitely figuring out what issue, but I want to definitely cover a Flash issue that really represents Captain Cold. And I love that villain. I even love the cheap, cheesy glasses where it's the squinty eyes.
The
I
3D glasses.
love those glasses. I love the cold gun. I love a man who's at his wits when he comes to it. And he's really just a basic thief. But he's a go-getter.
Yeah.
He's a guy who's motivated. He believes in the big picture, and he obviously has a weird moral code because he's still a full-on villain through and through. But he does have lines he will not cross because him and Barry, they have their frenemy-based relationship.
Would it be fair to
you
say they
must
have an
say.
understanding?
They have it. A mutual or not so mutual They have an understanding. Whether it's mutual is a whole debate for a whole other day. But they have an understanding of their lives and their motivations. And it's funny because Captain Cold is one of the upper echelon tier villains of the Flash. But
He's the rogue, so yeah.
Exactly. He's basically the main head honcho, but he still doesn't get, in my opinion, anywhere near enough recognition as the big boys of, the DC Comics villains. So it's sure, as far as Flash lore, he gets the recognition, but I like my Leonard Snart to get a bit more, a lot more. And, it's okay, I guess this is the part where I got to put matters into my own hands and be the guy that makes that happen. And yes, just because you requested it, RM, I will get you a picture of this super cheesy villain. And Klobby knows me. I like my villains with the cheesy suits. The cheesier, the better. And Cold Suit is very cheesy.
It is.
It's so cheesy. Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? Oh no. There we go. Look at that. Look at that cheesy suit. I love it. I'm in love with it. Sorry guys. Hold up. I know, hold on. I know I went wrong in life, but I'm gonna do even better. Watch. Just you watch. Give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Here we go.
Well,
there we go. There you go. So yeah, I love that. Right there. This is a basic common thief with a cheap cold suit. But once again, he's a man of the wits. And D-Bud here, Captain Cold was the best thing about seeing. Dude. I freaked the hell out when I saw that.
But they also brought him back and made him gay.
I don't even care that they did that. I was just like, this just didn't make sense within the context of the story is my issue. And obviously they only did that because the actor is that way in real life. It's just like, okay, well, I don't care that he's that way. Raquel, he's dressed for Canada. No, he really is. He really is.
I agree, Raquel. He might need a little bit more, I think, there. He might need a scarf to go over his nose and his mouth. But yeah, you're right.
He wears that in the summer.
One thing you could say for him as well is all the Cold villains. He does predate even Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, he does. No,
who was
Bobby?
You beat. Oh, I beat you to it. I'm sorry. I mean,
no, it's okay. No, I don't mind. Hey, you are very welcome to show me up. I don't care.
I didn't mean that. No, it was just, I didn't know if you were going to. I'm sorry, dude. This is your presentation.
You're good. Dude, I don't
it.
care. You could step on it again. I give you all permission
not by
to
much,
step on.
though. Yeah.
Oh, you can do more. I want you to do even
No, I
more.
mean he doesn't predate him by much. That was
No,
when he was
but-
Mr. Zero.
No, you're right, and he doesn't predate it by much, but he still does in the grand scheme of things. I'm just giving you permission to say,
I'm
hey, if
sorry.
you got something to say, nah, you're good, man. This is what us guys do. It's okay. And then Duo Kills Show just had no. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. You know what? Hey, if you want a good apple and you're like, oh crap, Nick's recommending something healthy, yeah. All right, so you heard this here on this one stream only. Honeycrisp apple is the way of all life.
I also
I
want to
don't
do
know.
a
I
shout
like a
out to
good
Dragon
gala.
Master. I also want to do a quick shout out to Dragon Master 360. We were on FNT tonight, and he actually sent me a message and said, "You're going to be on Nick's stream tonight, right?" And I went, "If I can stay up that late." And so shout out to DM360 because I'm here because of you, man. Thanks for that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. And Jaffo says, hey, old Nick, I sing 3 drawings, all works in progress on my drawing skate. Dude, Jaffo, I can't wait to see them. What I will check them out in the morning because right now I'm like buzzed, hating on drunk. So it wouldn't make sense for me to look at them now and then like forget about the messages, but I'm gonna look at them with a clear mind or a more, set of mind, and I will look at him and I will let you know what I think of him. So it's gonna be great. And Honeycrisp, I'm just saying that tart flavor is definitively great. It's sweet, it's tart, and those things are like boulders. Like those Honeycrisp apples are boulders. Like if you're like ever like at a bar stranded and you just see a Honeycrisp apple, you could take that and beat the guy over the head with it, and then you win the bar fight because those are a good defense weapon mechanism. Is the Honeycrisp apple? So I'm just saying, Honeycrisp apple rules as its taste. It's a great weapon of defense if you ever need to defend yourself as well. And yes, they cost more, but guess what? The good things in life cost more, and there's a reason why it's expensive because
it's a
is
multi-tool.
worth
It's
it.
defense weapon and an apple.
Dude, it's an apple first, defense weapon second, and it's worth it. So it gets my seal of approval and then some. And then Dragon Master here, if Captain Cold is older, Mr. Free wasn't he? Freeze is meant. It's a bit different. Dragon Master. I mean, one, Captain Cold was the Flash's villain, Mr. Freeze is Batman's villain, and also the timelines of way back when it was a different time. They weren't thinking about those. I'm gonna assume that they weren't thinking about those type of things. It was kind of like, hey, I'm writing this hero. I need my cold villain. But maybe I'm wrong. That's just my educated response, unless Clobby's got something to add to that, or LT.
Is that
No.
question there? You mean?
Yeah, about
No, I mean, they were from. They just weren't in the same comic. They were just originally Mr. Freeze was actually called Mr. Zero. And Mr. Freeze later, Victor Freeze. They don't have anywhere close to the same origin or anything like that. So they're not really related. And they're in different cities. Remember, Gotham City, Central City.
Yeah, that's true. That was the Central and Gotham. That's a big difference, and it's just like it's not like they gotta go over to train to the other. Like, hey, I'm gonna come to Central. We're gonna train. It's like that. All sounds like a Rocky movie, but for villains type of thing. So yeah, Captain Cold is another one. There will be a Hawkeye video part 2. And Pablo mentioned earlier, but of course, like I'm just gonna be that guy I mentioned again. I've mentioned before, I'm a big Scorpion fan. He's actually like, I love the Scorpion character of Matt Gargan, and what makes his character so fascinating is also who is attached to it is J. Jonah Jameson, because like J. Jonah Jameson is primarily the reason he is around. Because obviously JJ wanted to even the score with Spider-Man out of his own sheer pettiness so bad that he was willing to take a human being, Matt Gargan, and work with God, what's that doctor's name in the ASM 19 or
Smythe.
20? Smythe, thank you.
Of
And
course, you
he's
realize
just
though,
like,
if you're gonna do that, you should also do the Spider Slayers.
Yeah, I love the Spider Slayers.
hey, Raquel, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. And cheers to you. Cheers to your husband. Cheers to your family, really. Have a great evening, and I will make sure I
Yes.
stop by in the chat tomorrow for you and Klobby stream.
Cheers to you, number one. Love you. See you tomorrow night.
And then we're gonna welcome Mark
D.
D with us. See,
What's up? What's
Hey,
up,
guys.
bro?
It was family night tonight. Oh, there's the cameras in focus.
Oh,
now.
dude, it's
Even
okay,
though I'm
dude.
scared.
I had family night earlier, and also hold on before we do. Our boy Mr. Grant Greggy has got a bow out. So, Mr. Grant, why don't you plug in your channel? And for those folks who are listening in the chat, we got the link to Mr. Grant Gregory. It's in the description. So, go ahead
Yeah,
and
I'm,
plug your
Mr.
channel.
Mr. Grant Gregory, you can find me anywhere where this name, whatever it is on the internet. It's usually me. Sometimes it's some other bloke, but give him a bit of love as well. So thanks, Nick, for having me on, and what an awesome panel. Nick, you got to keep doing your reviews the way that you're doing them. I think you found a really good niche. It's
Thank you.
a mixture between something like that you'd see, from George and like Razor Fist with your Master talking and everything like that. I think you found a really good niche, and I definitely think this is going to be the thing that's going to push your channel over the 1,000 within a couple of weeks.
I'm gonna hit 1,000 in a few months. That's my goal. I'm gonna do it. But thank you. No, thank you, Grant, for the kind words. I appreciate it. And I love what you're doing on your channel. And dude, hey, as soon as you got a spot for me to pop up on your channel, man, let me know. I want to make time because I like what you're.
Absolutely.
I like what you got cooking, and you deserve more recognition. And we're getting you monetized. We can worry about me for another day. We can worry about me for another day. Let's get you to the top, my friend. All right.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
All right. Thank you, Grant.
Take care,
see you
bud.
soon.
Good night.
And then there was us. So, Mark, how's your day, dude?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, a busy work day. I had to shovel some snow, but that's what suns are for, so not too bad. And it was a really
I'm
light
surprised
snow.
you don't
up
have
there.
one of those Elon Musk flamethrowers for clearing away the snow.
Yeah, actually, I did try to use one of those gardening. You can burn the weeds. I'm like, it was real icy, so I bought one hooked up to the propane tank, but it doesn't have enough BTUs. But yeah, the flamethrower, that's a good idea. Except you might burn down the house when you're doing it. But I do have a pretty good snowblower, so that makes sure. Yeah, it was easy snow this morning. So the sons are helping. My sons are helping me. So shout out to them. But yeah, no, it was good. Good day. Yep. And then we're doing a puzzle for family time. So
ooh, what kind of
exciting
puzzle?
a round puzzle.
Ooh.
Which is I can't show it. It's in the other room, but it was this really difficult puzzle, and then everyone started doing it backwards because it's a two-sided puzzle. So the picture was it's boring stuff, but then I had to redo it. So, but
Was it a Star Trek 2?
No, it's nothing. Nothing geek. Nothing geek theme. So
Nothing geek. Oh, that's boring.
Yeah, they put up with enough of my stuff. So
you had to make concessions when you have you family guys need to do it.
Yeah. I can show you what I got for a haul for Christmas if you want, or I don't know if that's a couple of things I got for you. I can show some of the loot that Santa Claus brought.
Oh yes, I would love to see what Santa brought Mark to see.
Just quick for me then. So my underestimated character, who I think should be in the show.
Thoth. I thought we had you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I'm jumping in here. Yeah, sorry.
Thoth.
Oh, Mark, you always do that, man. It's no problem.
Damn, dude.
I'm interrupting everyone. Yeah,
it's you and your show and tell. You're like the guy in kindergarten that always had the great toys that I wanted to beat up and steal them from. That's the.
Yeah.
You're the.
Well, you did get beat up with those Star Wars cards. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Get the key. Just quick. I'll make it quick. I had a couple of ideas, but I'll just do one quick so you can get your show and tell. You and Ironcaster have the best show and tell, by the way. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Dick Grayson, Nightwing. Oh. I want to see his journey. I want to have like a movie or a comic where it's opening scene where he's with Batman. Stuff goes bad. Kind of like you have with Barbara Gordon where she gets shot by the Joker. I want to have him go through that trial where he comes upon where did Nightwing come from? We know where it is, right, Clobby?
We do.
Kryptonian myths and legends.
Eternally reborn
from
to start
the modern
anew.
city of Kandor.
That's right.
It's all about the original name, the Bottle City of Kandor. Superman and Jimmy Olsen used to go in there without powers, and they were sort of like a Nightwing and Firebird.
It's because Nightwing was a big Superman fan. He loved Superman. He loved the optimism. Like, Nightwing has, personality-wise, he has more in common with Superman, but his name rings the essence of Batman.
That's right. And the problem is that Titans show really. I don't even want to talk about that because that's just awful. But I think that his journey is a great journey, and you can have like a trilogy of you have the Batman and Robin, and you have them going down this road where they're fight day in and day out. They're fighting the corruption of Gotham. They're fighting the bad guys. They're doing this, and they're getting cut up. They're getting beat up, and they're going back to back to Wayne Manor, and they've broken arms, and they've got they're taking bullets out of their chest, and they're so it's a really, really dark kind of journey that they go on in the first part. And then Robin says, I can't do this anymore. They go through this bad scene in the first movie, and they kind of break up. The second movie, or the second part of the trilogy of the comic, Dick Grayson's on his own. So he goes and he becomes a detective, and he does his policeman kind of journey where he tries to do it the right way. So he went from being a vigilante, he went from being a lawman. That's where he meets Barbara Gordon, and he meets, the commissioner, and he meets all these people who influence him to go a different direction with his life. And then you could even have the whole romance with Barbara Gordon. You could have, hashtag save gingers. She's a ginger, by the way. And then you move into the third one where he goes and says, I want to take this in a different direction. I want to be Nightwing. And you could even have a Henry Cavill appearance where he influences Nightwing, and he says, son, let me take you under my wing, and let me teach you about the history of my people, and about Kandor, and about those heroes and what they did. And he's like influenced by Superman's vision. So not only does he grow up in Batman's shadow as, the Dark Knight and that part of, being a vigilante and part of being a hero, but then, Henry Cavill teaches him to be that beacon of light and justice. And so that's kind of like a dawning of the new age in Gotham. And then you could have him with Barbara Gordon, and they can have their whole romance. And then maybe as the culmination of the second movie, Joker shoots her. And that's where you kind of go out as that. And then because you want to have your Empire Strikes Back second movie where it's so dark, and he's like got her in his arms and she's bleeding out, and he's like, I can't save you. And she's like, so you have that whole dying part where Batman's vision, he doesn't see that working. Superman's vision, he doesn't see that working, because that's you have the light and the dark. And then in the third one, you have him opening as Nightwing, and he's kind of brutal. He's beating up bad guys. You could have Two-Face. You could have Riddler. You could have him beating on the Joker, whatever. And then he goes through this whole kind of tunnel where he's trying to bring these two visions of a true way of being a hero. And then in the third one, he comes through all that where he becomes this beacon of hope and of fear. So he's kind of like the White Lantern and the Dark Lantern, the Black Lantern, right? He's like the whole light and dark. And then at the end, you can have him kind of recruiting the Titans. You could have appearances by where he takes, Gar Logan under his wing, where he's this little kid.
Love Gar Logan.
You can have the that whole direction where he becomes this mentor to the Titans. Raven, Victor, he's the kind of like the Batman of the Justice League for the Titans, and you end it out where you have the Titans going to battle Trigon or battle whatever you want to do, but that's his trilogy. And then you can move into kind of like a Titan trilogy, or where that's a different kind of team. So that's kind of my underrated character that never gets the spotlight, because Batman's always in the spotlight, or the Justice League or whatever. And you do it the right way. You have Clobby, Ironcaster, Mark, and you, Flava Flavs, as the writers, and we can do it right.
I would love to, dude. I love Dick Grayson as Nightwing. I love I've always loved the personality of Richard Grayson. I've always been a fan. And I remember like what stood out to me the very first time I ever saw him was his suit. I thought the suit was so cool, like with that shiny with the shiny blue. I'm like, man, that's really cool. And then obviously he was always a contrast of that because Batman was this dark, brooding personality, and Dick was the guy who balanced that personality out. And I remember seeing that. I'm like, wow, Dick, he kind of is more in line with like the Flash or Superman. And obviously, he always mentioned how he's obviously influenced by Superman with the line "Eternally reborn to start anew." And I love it. Obviously, he has his own town. He operates Bloodhaven, where he does his patrolling. Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned it because it would drive me crazy how many. Don't get me wrong. For all this stuff I've enjoyed on the cinematic level of Batman, it has also equally irritated me even more seeing Batman begin again and again and again to not introduce us. It's like they can't get past Richard Grayson being Robin to evolve into Nightwing. And I want that transformation because it's such a great story. And it's one of the few mantle changes that stuck. That's one of the things. Not many times do these things ever like hold water, but Nightwing has stuck and it stood the test of time. And we're still here to this day, 30 something years later? And Nightwing is still here. He's still great. Love the guy. Love Richard Grayson.
I like
He's
Earth
a
2
great
better.
character.
Yeah,
Who?
they did that.
Oh, I love
I
Charles
like
Logan.
him being adult Robin on Earth 2 better. I've always preferred it. That's me.
I've often thought about wanting a Nightwing movie, and I agree. It's absolutely Nightwing is absolutely one of the best characters that you could do that everyone seems to know, but he doesn't get the light that he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of playing off your idea there, Lord Thoth, LT. I think I'd have to, for doing the Bloodhaven stuff, I'd almost want to just to change things up a little bit as a thought. It's Deathstroke is the one that does it. That maybe shoots Barbara as something different, and then you're putting Deathstroke up against Nightwing for it with a reason behind it.
That's not a bad idea because that leads into the third movie too, where you're introducing the Titans, and who's their first adversary? Man, Deathstroke is the man. Like he's he's one of my top 5 supervillains in the DC universe. Sorry. He's just unbelievable. If he's written right, he can take down the Justice League.
Yeah, and they did that on the HBO show, which is most people don't like. And
did he?
Yeah, I haven't watched the current season, but they did actually. They did that transition from Robin to Nightwing, and of course we all hated the line like "F Batman." They should have put that in
that show.
Yeah. But they
did.
And
season 2 was Deathstroke, and I think they mishandled him personally. And season 3 is, I don't know who the supervillain in season 3 was. That was the worst written DC show since the best of Warner Brothers. But I think that they had a great idea and they introduced the character really well. They had a great actor that played him, and then they kind of fluffed the ball. But it's
we did get live action Batman on a TV show. And it was the guy from Game of Thrones, and he was horrible as Batman.
That was an awful cast. Worst casting ever.
Actor, but just horrible casting.
You know what drives me nuts is they actually had potential Deathstroke. They even had a whole episode on, which I watched. Sadly, I confess, where Deathstroke had the helmet on the entire time. He didn't take that thing off just to say a few 5 words. And I thought that little aspect was cool. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like Deathstroke is kicking all their asses and he's keeping his helmet on. He kept it on the entire episode. And
not like Boba Fett.
I'm like, stop. No, I'm not falling for that trap.
But you want to talk about the ultimate underdog? Nightwing versus Deathstroke, because Deathstroke should clean the floor with Nightwing, because
totally.
You have an enhanced human. You have an enhanced human versus a regular guy who's an acrobat. So
Yeah.
that's just, that's an ultimate beatdown, and that is a great hero journey right there.
Yeah, and some of
Yeah.
the
Dick
fights
was
and
trained by Batman,
Yeah.
though, so he could hang a little bit. But yeah,
He can
Yeah.
hang a little bit, but
Yeah.
here's the problem: they took Nightwing's personality and made it like Batman's in that show. It's just like, no, Dick Grayson's supposed to be
It's
Dick
supposed to be
Grayson,
so
not
different.
Bruce Wayne.
yes, I
They're
hate
so
that crap.
radically different, and I had to emphasize the words "radically different" because it seemed like this show didn't understand that, and they like, oh, hey, let's just make everyone like Batman. It's like,
Yep.
oh, here we fucking go again.
some of the fight scenes were cool. I mean, if you just take it out, just watching the fights until they
Yeah.
had Wonder Girl got electrocuted, which was
Oh,
ridiculous.
that was so bad.
like
I was like,
she,
I saw
she's
that, and I was
with
like,
her superpower. She's
I'm
getting
never watching
electrocuted.
this again.
I'm like, come
I'm
on,
like,
really?
Yeah,
You should have saw the idiotic way they brought her back to life in the 3rd season.
Oh,
They brought her back to life.
With
Oh,
she
no.
fell in a vat of eels and resuscitated her.
No, worse than that. It's like,
no.
it's a whole it's a whole Themyscirian kind of
Magic.
Tim Drake dies and goes to the realm of the dead, and Hawk is there, and they go across this bridge and they fight these demons, and because they defeat them,
cool.
2 of them get to go back to life. It's the worst season of superhero shows I've ever seen, and that's saying something
Wow.
because I've watched all of Supergirl,
Oh, Supergirl.
But how much of
That's close to the
Batwoman
end, yeah.
did you watch?
which is the worst superhero show
Well,
I
I
have
think the
ever seen.
messaging on I think Batgirl's worse, but the messaging on Supergirl was
I mean,
even
Batwoman.
worse.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Batwoman.
Batwoman, so there. I watched season 1 and I went, I'm out.
Oh my god, you actually made it through a season.
I
managed
did
to
only
get
because
some-
Az was doing the reviews, so I wanted to Az from Heels versus Babyface.
Mhm.
I wanted to keep up with him, so I watched all of season 1 and said, I'm sorry, Az, I can't do this anymore. It's awful.
I got some coworkers to watch Batwoman, going in knowing it was bad,
You must hate him. You hate him, right? You must.
and then I
you hate-
got them to watch Star Trek Discovery after that.
You must really hate them.
Which is worse.
Well, it
They
was
gouge out their
experimental.
eyeballs.
That's
I
hateful.
had
What's wrong with
to
you?
I had to test it out for myself and use my little experiment group just to see
Wow.
which is
Mark-
worse.
The Marquis de Sade has nothing on Ironcaster.
Ooh, deep cut. Literally deep cut.
Dude, why would you do that to
By-
anybody? You're a supervillain.
By the way, for the record, Batwoman is worse.
Did you follow up with Highlander 2 after that to tell him?
No,
All
because
right.
I would have gotten a throat chop.
All right, I've had enough of talking about these crappy shows.
Yeah,
We're gonna get to something good.
cool.
Box of stuff.
Well, I guess we're gonna find. And
Stuff.
Raquel's not here, but I kept gloves on.
We'll tell her about it.
But do you have a duster?
Well, it's fresh out of the box, so it won't need a dust.
You don't need to dust yet. Yeah.
Yeah, but oh yeah. So last, I think spring or early summer of 2020, right when I was getting, maybe it was probably summer. The YouTube channel Gordon, Mr. One Sean Gordon Murphy. Was getting a book going on Indiegogo, which I know a lot of his colleagues at DC Comics were very pissed about because he didn't do it on Kickstarter, but he stuck with Indiegogo and got it going. And he did this story called The Plot Holes. And, well, here it is. Nice, shiny, hardcover book, too, which is great. So, Sean Murphy, he's very famous or infamous for the Batman White Knight story. Now, as far as comic book goes with Batman, I'm a little bit fatigued with Batman, but I will say I did enjoy Batman White Knight, and I'm looking forward to his story on Terry McGinnis, and I'm only going to read it from DC Comics because it's Sean Gordon Murphy with Batman White Knight, and apparently, oh, hey, he did sign it. There's that signature. Okay, so I got a little signature there, and apparently
Nice.
he did thank his backers, and he's got a YouTube page, and he's very fan driven too. He likes to definitely, he's very focused on his fans. But holy crap, this is a I won't be able to find my name anytime soon, but in that list, somewhere is my name. Somewhere is my name, and I will get to that sometime between now and forever. Oh my god, dude!
Are they alphabetical?
No.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa!
Oh, they're not alphabetical.
Holy crap!
It's like, oh hey, I'll find this in a minute. But I do like this though. There's some sketches too. So here, let me zoom in on this stuff. So there's some sketches, so that's cool. I do like sketches.
That's always fun to see how they the first draft. Yep.
Yeah, and then of course, dude.
And black and white art can be great too, eh?
Oh yeah.
How many pages of that is there?
If I had to guess, because look at this. This is once again nice, really fancy like hardcover with the strong
Big
spine
book,
and all.
I was actually asking you specifically if there was a second page, if there was an additional page of names, or if it was just that
hold
one.
on. I just realized there's some gloss too over like the characters. Like if you look, hold on,
Hail,
let me see
Comic
if I
Relief
can
Crusader. Good to see you.
Hey, Comic Relief Crusader.
Yeah, like this here, like there's that gloss. You know where the characters pop more, certain characters pop more on the gloss. It's hard for me to show it, but yeah. Oh, look,
Nice
you can
printing,
see, yeah, you can see. This is a really stronger, thicker. Because I know he got these books printed in America too. So this is not printed. It was not printed from China. It was printed out here,
America.
And yeah, you were even right. It's a book for everyone. So stop reading this right now and buy it. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's for whoever just happens to enjoy it.
I wonder what he means by that. Why, Sean? Whatever do you mean?
Well, he actually deleted his Twitter because he got sick of the drama on Twitter. So
smart man.
I'm gonna have to say I do think he genuinely means it as everyone. I know a lot of people will tend to say that, but they mean another thing. But after listening to Sean speak on Comics by Perch, which I don't know, Club, if you know who Perch is, but he's a comic book YouTuber who does like a bunch of data analysis videos.
Yes.
And Sean was on there and he talks about, he said he wants to make stories for his fans. And he said that he feels like he almost got himself caught up in some of the drama on Twitter. Then he realizes he needed to get out of there and just never say a word again. And he did. And he's not said a word in, over a year.
So he's not CG, but he's not anti-CG. He's just very neutral.
Yeah, very neutral, which is fine. I could take that position. I don't need someone to be one or the other. I don't care.
I just need him to not poop on the fans.
Yeah, and he just says, he's like, I just want to make stories for my fans, and move on to the next story. And he obviously he does the writing and he does the pencils and he has the colors done for him. So I'm like, okay, I can respect this guy, and I feel good doing it, and it does feel good. I can't wait to read it. Maybe I'll do a review for it as well. But obviously, I enjoyed White Knight. White Knight was the first Batman story that I was like, oh hey, this is actually damn good. And the video that got me to read it was from Just Some Guy. Actually, Just Some Guy. It was all over covering Batman White Knight. And like I said, at that point, I had been beyond fatigued on Batman. So it's not because I'm sick of the character Batman, but it's more of I was sick of how much Batman DC was putting out. That was like DC is pushing me away from the character because it's kind of it's like Marvel's response with Deadpool. It's like more. It's just like, guys, this doesn't help. It makes it worse. And no, with Sean Murphy, he revitalized my comic book interest in The Dark Knight. And I will see what he has to do on the indie level. And I'm actually really curious to read it and see what's up. So, yeah, that's cool. The plot holes reveal from his Indiegogo that he did. Yeah, he was actually catching flack for that. They're like, oh, why'd you do a Kickstarter? And because these people always act like they make the rules with shit. They always
What's the
act
difference? Who cares, right?
Well, it's because Kickstarter is the approved page. Because a lot of these people, they like to do it based on what they consider the approved thing. and because that's the one that's got the mainstream names on it, and it's just like you can't do Indiegogo. That's not what we approve of. It sounds it almost sounds kind of like familiar to what certain big government politicians do, but once again, not going to get into that. But you can see where the correlation comes from. So it's nice to just have a guy be in and out, write story, do it for the fans who like you, and that's all. It should be that simple, but sadly, common sense is beyond long gone. And any guy who says, "All right, I'll admit I'm guilty of almost getting myself caught in the drama. I need to step out." I can accept that because that's saying, "Okay, I realize my own flaws. I need to just nuke my Twitter account and never come back." And it's been a year, and he never came back. So yeah. Anyways,
I don't think Dan Slott could hold that pledge.
No, God, Dan Slott. Oh God, Dan Slott's not even capable of holding that for 15 minutes. All right, I can't prove it, but my gut tells me that guy had his account checked he probably checks it every 5 minutes.
That's why I can't get his books on time. Right?
Dan Slott has me blocked.
He
has us all blocked.
Me too.
Badge of
Lord
honor,
Thoth, are you blocked?
I got to check here. Just a second. I'm just booting up Twitter.
Hopefully everyone is blocked.
Yeah.
Badge of honor.
They're blocked. Yeah. And I didn't even say anything to him. That's just just uses those blockchains.
I didn't either. I did.
Guilty by association. How tolerant.
I do think though he may have noticed I may have had a exchanging of words with one of the artists on DC. Who knows? He may have saw that I had that interaction with him because I'm blocked by Mitch Garrett. I'm blocked by Vita Ayala, Dan Slott, Rick Remender, and
let's have a contest. Who's blocked by the most idiots of the work of the comic book industry?
You losers! I am not blocked by Dan Slott.
Come on, Al.
I am now following him. I can give us the intel on what he is saying.
Hold your head in shame.
Just wait for it. I'm sure on Monday I'll be blocked.
Yes.
The Dragon Master's asking why some of us are blocking.
He pays
he just
attention
does block
to
change.
every new person that follows him. He's like, "Oh, I didn't. Who's this guy?"
Well, wait for it. I just followed him. Clancy Brown follows him, eh? That's kind of cool.
That's weird.
The Kurgan himself.
Yes, lots of writer of FF, longtime writer of the FF, and
that's because Clancy Brown follows me.
Yeah.
Really?
So, I'm not blocked yet. Someday who will be? They just grab lists and block people.
Yeah, just give it time.
I have
the other
one
one you said that
rule
was
when it
blocked
comes
by?
to comic pros and social media. If they block me, I don't buy their books. Like,
see, if they block me, I can just use my my influence in the law enforcement community to unblock them.
Who's that other one that you said is blocking you? Other than Slot?
I mentioned Al Ewing.
No, yeah, of course he is. Oh yeah,
yeah, of course. I got Vita Ayala I got her, and I got Rick Remender. And Rick Remender, I will admit I set myself up with that one because he was showing off some serious TDS, and I sent him a screenshot of Ice Cube saying that it was Ice Cube bashing both sides of the political aisles, and he said both colors are on the same bird. So I didn't even make one side. I did it as like a test to see how bad is this guy. So I'm like, what happens if I bash both? Will he respond? Or will he just and he didn't respond at all. He just blocked. He didn't try to challenge the comment.
He's not blocking me. He's not blocking me for some reason.
So my guess is Rick Remender's chain is not as blocked as like Dan Slott's is. And then Mitch Garrett is doing the whole vote blue no matter who. I'm like, so if Gacy was running, would you vote for him if he was blue?
Yeah.
And then he blocked me.
Oh yeah. So some of you have to actually interact with, but then there's the blockchain people.
Yeah, no, those two I interacted with, and then I got blocked. Dan Slott, I literally did nothing. Same with Vita IL, I did nothing.
Same here.
And it just happened, and we lost Ironcaster.
Yeah. Did Dan Slott knock him out?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How about Gail Simone? Anyone blocked by Gail Simone?
Nope.
She's very active on
Somehow
Twitter.
I'm. Oh, dude. Twitter,
I didn't even want to look.
Twitter is her religion.
Yeah, she didn't block
Seriously.
anybody. Actually, I don't think she blocks people.
Well, that's good. No, yeah. I mean, unless you actively insult someone or go over
Right.
the top, or for certain things, I can see where people got blocked. But just for having, like, some people you've just seen like some discourse or like decent questions, and then they just block you because they didn't like your question. If it wasn't obscene or nasty or boom, I just don't have to deal with you. You're gone. Welcome back, Iron.
There's the caster. There's the caster. But guys, I mean, this might be the moment when we just wrap it up, and we will come back next Friday. I mean, things are starting to wind down.
Well, can I just show my stuff because I have it all lined up?
Show your
Sorry.
stuff.
Yeah, it won't take long.
Lined up. No.
Yeah, no, it won't take long. It won't take long.
Show it off. Okay.
More 4K.
Oh yes. I see a Reed Richards with the trench coat on.
Yep,
I got that one.
You got that. You got that. I got that.
So, I love getting my movies in 4K now. So I'm not rebuying everything in 4K, but if it's a set like back or
I
I'm
just got the
for.
4K myself.
I can't
That's gorgeous.
afford all those Ks, man.
And then what's great about this too is the sound is just so awesome. The sound quality on this. So, and then all the special features. If you like R&B type, stories and behind the scenes videos. There's like hours and hours and hours of stuff on here, and the digital code. Yep. But all these, I love watching all like the deleted scenes and then the making of. So you can just spend hours and hours.
Yeah.
And so we did that as a family night. That was super fun. So,
Hey, Glinzer.
Glinzer. He's still here.
Vinyl mate. I do like my first season of Arrow, and I had a soft.
I enjoy
I always
it.
love Black Canary.
She's looking better.
Yeah, but she's kind of squared off here. Not too many curves, but
Yeah.
I was like, what's this?
Could be worse. Could be a Funko Pop.
Deathstroke is cool, and
I must admit, I have, I think, a handful of Funko Pops, and a couple of them are kind of cute. I've got Hal Jordan, I've got Mirror Spock, I've got, I think, a Darth Vader one, and maybe one or two others, and they're not bad, but I certainly wouldn't go all in and buy most of them because most of them are awful.
Well, this is one of my favorite ones, I have to say.
Which one is that?
Annihilus. Yeah.
Oh, that Annihilus one looks pretty good. Where'd you get that? Walmart exclusive.
Walgreens exclusive.
Oh, Walgreens. Yeah.
He got it at Rite Aid.
Is that what the W is? You Americans.
Yes, Walgreens. It's so weird.
It's so
that's
stupid they have exclusives. But
I hate Walgreens exclusives. They're really annoying.
I agree. And there's something for D-Bud Martin, Iron Man, Mystic Armor. What the heck is that? When he went back in time with Doctor Doom? I'm not sure.
I don't know. No, and I don't care.
I don't think so.
But I love this.
I like that.
That's a cool one. Of course, you can't go wrong with the Silver Surfer.
Ooh.
Is that acceptable, Clobby?
Now there was a couple of Clockwork Orange Funko Pops too that I saw.
What?
And I looked and I was like, "Oh, that was really cool." And then I saw it was like $12,000 or something.
What?
Seriously,
Wow.
it's like, oh, it's ridiculous.
I mean, and the Droogs?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was the Alex with the cane or whatever, or the anyway, it's been a long time. But it's a Grail one, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Who would pay that?
I know, right?
This is from
What kind of dumbass would pay?
Mandalorian.
Find the person that pays for that and then go sell them something.
Who's she?
She's from I don't
Is
know.
that-
One of my kids got me this, so
Han Solo's
I guess
girlfriend.
it's. Oh yeah, it's some Solo. Yeah. So allegedly
Is that
she's
what
gonna
that
be
is?
in the
Oh, yeah.
Boba Fett. I couldn't say anything, so
Is there a Grand Admiral Thrawn Funko Pop?
let's say in the
Probably.
back.
Oh,
Not yet.
Herbie! There's a Herbie one. I see
Herbie.
you got a Herbie
Yep.
one.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I have-
Herbie.
Cool.
See, I converted you. I've
Oh
the
my
only-
God, that is so cool.
I've got the only 2 pops at the LT
That's the one that
lights.
almost looks like Herbie though, without being.
Yeah.
In other words, it doesn't. It's not like a distortion of the character that just looks stupid.
Oh wow, man, that cartoon!
Herbie.
I love that cartoon.
Yeah.
Really, you like them replacing Johnny? How dare you?
Well, at the time I was a kid, right? I was
Oh,
pretty
okay.
young, so
You said, wow. And everyone said, "Wow, kids won't set themselves on fire because we have a robot instead of a."
yeah, right.
And of course.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is
No.
it
they're
blasphemy to say that Sue Storm is my favorite Fantastic Four?
No. Not at all.
Yes.
Um,
No.
Ooh.
fair warning there, Mark.
Not
I heard the
blasphemy.
4K version that's not very good.
Is she really?
Oh.
I didn't know that.
What they do was just like a,
LT, I didn't know that.
quick conversion.
Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone, as I am a big Ginger supporter, but I actually have a thing for blondes as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love her, but you really love her more than the guys. I mean, you know, she did. Look what she did to Reed. I mean, with Subby. Come on, man.
She's a cuck. She cuckolded him. Absolutely. He deserved it, though.
Oh. Oh.
He did,
See,
man. He's in his lab too much. I mean, Namor comes
Right.
along
See,
with
the
that
lab coat,
washboard abs and the big muscles and the pointed
but-
ears. I mean, come
Come
on.
on, Mr. Fantastic is tough to
Yeah,
compete
come
with.
on.
Come on.
Come on. He gets stretched.
His
Yeah, I got it.
appendables can stretch to whatever size she wants. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
No, it's his brain. It's his brain. He's
Oh,
fantastic.
his brain. Yeah, that's absolutely what
Lies.
she's in for.
You know, I never
I
liked
love
those
this figure.
uniforms.
This-
I never liked those uniforms until I'm finally used to them. I had to have the one with the lab coat, but I was
Yeah.
aggravated when Byrne did that to the uniforms. Pissed me off.
Yeah, yeah. I like the classic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bad
Star Wars
feeling
card
about
game. I
this.
guess they found this somewhere. You know, I'm
Why
easy
didn't
to
Luke
shop
just
for.
use his lightsaber and cut him out?
Yeah. I don't know what to say about the game. Yep. I haven't
Oops,
played it
sorry,
yet.
Han. I guess we can give you a artificial hand.
Oh, cool. The cards are blue and red like the Star Wars cards.
Janet.
Yeah.
Janet's here.
Oh,
Damn it,
shit.
Janet!
Janet from
Janet.
another planet.
Damn it, Janet. I love you.
I gotta.
We
break
all
this
love
up.
Janet from another planet.
Yep.
As we should.
We love TZ Canadian too because he's from the Great White North.
So this is a
You hoser.
floating Mandalorian
Take off, you hoser. eh?
child.
Oh, those are fun toys, though.
Yeah,
Those are fun toys.
It's you hold your hand under the child, I guess, and guide him around. I gotta say, without cutting your
Wow.
fingers off.
You know, Mark, you have too much money.
Well, these are all gifts. This is.
Oh
this is
yeah,
actually-
sure. That's right. They're
Well, look,
gifts.
this is
You're
this
giving
is
to
actually
himself.
my mom told me she got $7 in Marshalls. You know, you go get the stuff on sale. So
And
she's always looking in the bargain bin.
I'm going to say something that kind of throws some cold water on all this too. Is
Uh-oh.
that's the problem today too? Is it's funny because my wife and I, when we were shopping, because we have two very young nieces, young nephews, so from all of our family, right? Because we're the oldest. My wife and I are the oldest in our family, and so we have young kids that are our nieces and nephews, and we're going through the Walmart and the Toys R Us and stuff, and we're looking for Christmas gifts, right? And I also have a godson that's from Finland, so so we're looking at stuff to buy, and a lot of this stuff is really cheap right now. We went down the aisle, which had all the Avengers action figures, all the Justice League stuff that was still left over, all the great toys that I would love to have had when I was a kid, and they're all like 50% off, 75% off, because they're all on sale. No one's buying this stuff, so it doesn't surprise me that these would all be gifts. That was my cold water saying, no,
No,
it's all
okay,
cheap
yeah.
gifts.
Yeah, they're cheap. Yep. I love Goofy though. Yep.
Oh,
Goofy's a big-
Goofy.
No, goofy.
Wait, what's the on the left hand side here too? You have I see Torchy there, but is that
Oh,
Con?
these. Yeah, those I've shown a bunch of times. Yeah, that's just the con. I keep them on my desk to.
Con. You know, whenever
So-
Mark's on a stream, I always nerd out to Janet from Another Planet.
So I've got.
I geek out myself. I
Thank
don't
you.
nerd. I'm a geek, and he's a geek. You're a geek. We're
That's
all
my Gorn.
You know, it's funny. The guys on my hockey team used to call me a geek nerd.
Geek nerd, yeah.
You're a nerd?
A geek nerd jock. Sorry, I forgot
nerd.
one. A geek nerd jock because I used to play for the my university hockey team. I was an athlete, and well, it's become how I became a law enforcement officer because I was in pretty good shape. But yet my dark secret life was all the Star Trek, Star Wars stuff in the background, and D&D. Used to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I used to. It's funny because I had two sets of friends growing up in high school. I had all the nerds and the geeks that I used to game with, and used to the comic stuff and the toy stuff with, and yet all the jocks that used to play hockey with, right? And I used to be pretty good at putting the puck in the net, so I had all these big goons who used to walk around, so I could walk down the halls of my high school as a geek and a nerd, but yet I also was a jock. So you had a letter. I had a letter jacket, right? So it's kind of funny because I had these defenders. So I never got beat on or anything as a kid because I was lucky because I had all these big goons who used to like, hey, he scores goals for us, so get away from him. So it was kind of funny. I was never popular, but it's kind of funny how I got best of both worlds.
Oh yeah.
Hey, the angry gamer. Hello.
I didn't have that cliche problem either, getting bullied and all that stuff either. But it was just because even though I did play football in Little League, I didn't play much later. But it didn't matter. I grew up with two brothers. All we did was fight. So I didn't give a crap who tried to push me around. And I was bigger than the other kids, so they didn't. If you're big, they don't mess with you in school.
True. Has anyone seen the USS Excelsior model, the 1/3500 scale, lately that I saw advertised? Because I see that's an awesome Enterprise, but there's also they released this huge 1 to 3/3500 scale Excelsior that lights up, and it's just
Wow, is it
I don't even want to know what the price is.
polar lights or?
Yeah, it's Now, of course, the classic Enterprise is the greatest starship of all time, the greatest space vehicle of all time. But
Agreed. You know, I'm kind of partial to the refit, though. I got to tell you. Even though I love
oh,
this-
the refit. You mean now? Here's a question for you and anyone else out there: do you prefer the refit from Star Trek: The Motion Picture, or the refit from Star Trek 4, the end of Star Trek 4,
Well, the
which
one
was
from Star
Yorktown?
Trek 4 was the Yorktown renamed, but I prefer
Yeah,
a
TNP.
picture.
All right, I
TNP
could
every
tell you,
time.
but I3AR3 says, "What's the thing sign say?" And to that, I asked, "Which thing sign are you talking about?" Because he has that many.
Oh yeah, I put it back up. Yeah, it's parking only. Violators will be clobbered.
Nah, that's great.
Enjoy it while you last in there.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I will be stealing it one day.
I got to print those someday. But yep. So there's a lot of people that have dibs on that. So, but I might have a source to make another batch.
The one on the side of it. I have the one on the side of it. That FF, that's
I
a
have
10. That 10 FF one I do have.
No, I have that.
I got.
So the last thing I was going to show was is an old Lego that I got, but then the current issue of Superman.
But you don't have that.
No, he doesn't.
No, he
Let's see,
doesn't.
I've got
He
this
owns it,
Lego
though.
set.
He owns it, but he doesn't have that.
Oh, TZ Canadian, your entire family's in Vancouver. I hope they withstood the storms. There was quite a thing in Vancouver, well, in the Lower Mainland and the interior of British Columbia in the last few months with the mudslides and the rainstorms and everything. I hope everybody's safe and sound there out west, because it's been a tough go in British Columbia this year.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Good luck. Why do you buy that modern crap? Good Lord.
I don't know.
My eyeballs.
Don't you know? I
Does
guess
this-
I'm just completist, but isn't that strange? Like that, it's actually supposed to be Dark Side on.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
just
it looks
Manga.
like it leads into Red and Blue number 1 there, where he was.
Yeah.
But this toy is like from 1909, or it's like a 15-20-year-old toy. So it's actually supposed. That looks like Dark Side. I think this is Dark Side.
That's Dark Side there, but the one on the cover is
Dark
Manga.
Side.
But little pipsqueak Dark Side.
Dude,
But,
the Angry Gamer here. Watched The
Hey.
Rocketeer tonight
Hey.
for the first time in years.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
movie. Oh man, what
Love
a
it.
flick.
Great
So
movie.
good.
Yep.
Instead of buying an Action Comics, you could have taken $5 and just, I don't know,
Burned it.
Burned it. Don't give it to a homeless person in the street or something.
Go to Steak and Shake for a burger.
But,
Yeah.
well, could get a burger for that now.
It's like when you got a run going. LT can vouch for this too, right? When you got a run going, it's tough to stop. I know you've canceled some of your comics, right?
Yeah, I'm the worst person because I'm still getting 2 DC comics. One is Green Lantern because I haven't stopped getting Green Lantern since the showcase issue where he first appeared. So
Wow.
my Green Lantern collection is almost as mighty as my Legion of Superheroes collection. That and Justice League, which has been absolutely awful for about 3 years now. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough to stop those habits.
Right.
I think that's what they're counting on too. A lot of these comics that we're seeing nowadays.
Totally.
I mean, I feel bad for the Wonder Woman fans. I feel bad for a lot of the Batman fans because it's been pretty awful. The Comic Relief Crusader. I should stop abusing myself. I do feel like Superman in Red and Blue issue number 1 there. It's been pretty awful, and it's really hard. And I say the same for Marvel to a lesser extent because I'm a big X-Men fan. I'm a big Wolverine fan. So it's been pretty tough. I admit, it's been pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read X-Men in years. I mean, just I used to read all that, and I gave up X-Men, so I guess some of these I should.
J-Man still, he has every damn X-Men just about ever, and he still reads
Right.
stuff.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I get that, and up until a few years, I mean, even today, there's 5 or 6 different mutant titles. So there's X-Men. There's anyway. I don't need to go into it, but it's
Yeah,
just
but there's way too many titles. I agree, though. I mean, just
you can't
back
follow
in the day
it
when you could read Amazing Spider-Man, and then maybe they had Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and Batman. You had Detective Comics and Batman and Action and Superman. There were 2 comics a month, and if you only read one of them, you're okay to kind of know what was going on. And now I don't know if it was the X-Men that started that had like with X Factor and then the Million X title. What was the first book that went crazy with?
It was kind of well.
That's a good question.
It was probably X-Men was probably one of the first to do it. Other characters did it individually. Like Superman would have a bunch of titles, or Batman would have a bunch of titles, but as far as
But never like
teams,
4 or 5 though, right? Yeah, like team.
Well, let's
I'm
see. At
trying
one
to think.
point, Superman had Superman, Action, World's Finest, DC Comics Presents. It was in Justice League. But yeah,
Adventure Comics. Oh, Legion of Superheroes too. He was in there for sometimes.
Superboy. I mean, he was
Superboy.
and you had the Superboy titles.
Yeah, he had like 7 titles going on there for a while in the 80s.
Yeah, but
you didn't have to read them all.
No. I'd say X-Men. Then you had X Factor, X Force,
New Mutants. X.
Yeah,
that's right. You said
Excalibur.
Then sort of counts, I guess. So
but just
then the
like
Avengers
really
did it, went nuts with it.
Yeah, but they went. Yeah, the Avengers went crazy. Avengers Dark. Avengers.
What were there, 20 Avengers comics at one point?
Yeah, but the problem was then they were all tied together. Like it's one thing if you could follow a storyline, but then when then the crossover
They were like an
problem
army
too,
or some shit too.
Yeah, with all the crossovers going, it's like, come on, please stop with the cross. Once in a while it was cool when you had those crossovers that happen every like 3 or 4 years, or remember the X-Men doing was it Inferno or I'm trying to remember, and the Atlantis Attacks was one of them, but it was only like it was few and far between. Not
Atlantis Attacks. That's a good. I really look forward to that crossover. I thought that was going to be a great
was a-
opportunity. And
Yep.
then it just kind of fell flat, which is too bad because that was a good opportunity to bring Namor and Atlantis into the Marvel universe. You could have had Wakanda, you could have had
Yeah.
Excalibur, you could have had like all of the Avengers titles. You could have, and it was like, bleh. I don't know if Clobby, if you feel the same way, but I remember that Atlantis Attacks crossover. Do you know? I can probably count on one hand how many good complete comic crossover that was actually good, like Crisis on Infinite Earths. Man, that wrote the book on crossovers.
I have a lot of problems with Crisis as well.
Oh, I do too. But I think it was the best of the bunch.
You know what I think the greatest crossover ever done was? No, and it's one no one will know about. Unity.
Oh, huh.
That was the early 90s Valiant Comics crossover. I mean, I'm talking about a crossover that actually worked brilliantly in crossing over into the other books, and then the actual title of the Unity series itself was brilliant, was extraordinarily well done, and it didn't feel commercial like almost all crossovers did, because it was woven into the story, the fabric of that relatively small universe, which at that point was so much better than Marvel and DC crap. This was the early 90s when Valiant was really huge. And it was given Image and Marvel and DC a run for their money. Shooter started that company for a few years. And yeah, the Comic Relief Crusader, I loved Unity. I thought that was brilliant.
I love that. It's funny you should bring that up because I haven't thought about that in decades. And now that you bring it back, I'm like, I have all those in a box downstairs in a long box. And I need to dig those out and read that again.
Dude, that was a great story. And then it's from the beginning of that run of those Valiant Comics, 91 through 92. There you go. It was just perfectly done, and they managed to make it not feel like a money grab crossover. It's the only crossover I can think of ever that didn't feel like that.
Wow, that's a deep cut. I love that, Clobby. I love that. I need to go back and read that again.
Yeah, it's truly great, man.
I do. You know those Valiant comics in the 90s? Those are some great independent comics that we really miss today.
And those things for a while they got pricey because everyone wanted them. After it started to get popular, Harbinger was number one, and Harbinger was tough to get. Magnus was tough to get.
All the foil covers.
They started doing that a little bit later, but at first it was a comic company that was fledgling that wasn't. Jim Shooter had left Marvel to start it, and no one expected it to be anything. I started buying it at the outset, and another friend of mine did too. 2 or 3 other people did. But then when it started to catch on, you went into the comic shops and it got expensive. The early issues, and Harbinger.
You mean trying to buy the back issues, or
just some of the earlier ones that no one expected it to be so good, like the early Magnus and the early Solar and Harbinger. Harbinger was I
loved Harbinger.
It was X-Men written with a brain. Because at the time X-Men was just kind of mindless and just to me it was cheap corporate stuff. Harbinger was better in my opinion. Harbinger was so good. Archer and Armstrong was great for a while.
Archer and Armstrong. There's a comic I haven't thought about in years either.
Barry Windsor
was Shooter doing some of the writing too, or was he
yes,
just
he actually. Yep. Well, it was him, Bob Layton, and Barry Windsor Smith, and a few other writers. So people like Nick is a big fan of Peter Tomasi or whatever. That's where he started it. Tomasi, he did some stuff later, and they started with bringing back the Gold Key characters, Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom, and Magnus Robot Fighter. And then they created a universe around it, and they started building up. They ended up with Exo Man of War, Harbinger, Shadow Man, Rye, Rye was also a robot fighter at the same time as Magnus, and Archer and Armstrong, Eternal Warrior, and over the course of a couple of years, they built that up. And remember, man, this was on comic shops only, and it started competing big time with Marvel and Image. And DC, Marvel Image and DC, and it was huge. It was
that's why it died too,
gigantic. Well, eventually, but for about 3 or 4 years there, it maintained a pretty good market share for a direct sales only comic, and it was huge in comic shops. It was a phenomenon, and I started reading them from the get go. A buddy of mine did, just because we thought I was not liking much of what was going on, and so I picked up Magnus because I liked Magnus in the old days, and I liked Solar a little bit, but I wasn't the biggest fan of him or anything. But I kind of liked him, and those books were really good. Then Harbinger came along and grabbed me, and then Exo, which good God, all of them were good for a while there.
They
And
held their value too. They're still
They
pretty
did.
valuable out there.
I don't know about now, but there was a time
Yeah,
that you couldn't
they're not too bad. They're not like the Marvel and DC titles, the classic, Silver Age, Bronze Age kind of Marvel and DC titles, but they still maintain their value pretty good. And it's funny in a lot of auctions that I've been, because I do 3 auctions a week and I kind of go, and it's off and on I buy stuff depending on if there's a value there, and because I know the value of the comics, I kind of wait to see if they're in great shape, and if their value holds, and if it's something that I'm missing in my collection. And there's some value and stuff that comes up now and then, and it's pretty reasonable. You can get it for reasonable prices depending on what it is, and I'm surprised actually at how well it's held its value. Yeah, Crucible says Malibu too. Malibu was pretty good too.
Yeah, they were okay. I mean, there was this 2 or 3 year run. Again, they got kind of over after a while, but this 2 or 3 year run in the early 90s though of Valiant was special for a few years. It's made great quality, and man, Solar was brilliant. Harbinger was brilliant. Exo was great. Good God, it was Shooter. Yes, Shooter was a good writer. Kind of screwed up Marvel a little bit in some ways, but Shooter, Bob Layton, and Barry Windsor Smith, and a few other guys, but they were the big minds behind all of it. There were some others, like I said, and man, Solar was just incredible.
Well, Paramount Pictures has the rights for Harbinger.
Oh God,
talk about doing a movie. Sorry to let you know that.
Oh really? I didn't know that actually.
Yep. Yes, Sony. They'd partnered with Sony, which would have been better after this last Spider-Man movie, and then for 5 films based on Bloodshot and Harbinger, and then the rights for Harbinger were acquired from Sony by Paramount in 2019. So we'll see. Nothing's happening.
That's interesting. That's interesting, though.
All right,
great
guys.
Creators, though.
Time to run.
This is gonna be the part where we start to wind down. I've been going since 5 a.m. And the chat's starting to wind down. So
we got you, man.
It's all simultaneously worked out at the same time. But for those in the chat, links to these guys' channels in the descriptions. And I'll let my God, Mark D with a C start off.
Well, thank you for having me. Got here late, but it's always good.
It's okay, man.
As you said, yep. But I'll be in the chat on Saturday night, so everyone make sure you watch Saturday Night Star Trek. With Clobbering Times and Raquel, looking forward to that. And then Sunday night, we got Sunday Night Geekery, which is 11 p.m. Eastern, just kind of a roundup of the week. And I know once in a while, Nick, you're on there if you can make it. And of course, everyone in the panel is always invited to be there. Just end of the week, kind of shoot the comic bull and just hang out and talk about pop culture and whatever's interesting. And of course, Tuesday I'll be on with Toxic Tuesday, so looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, Mad Max, that's gonna be huge,
it'll be
dude.
Fun,
Dude, it's gonna be huge.
So we're looking forward to that, and just appreciate the sub and the watches, and it's just been great to hang out with you guys, and a lot of fun. So appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, no, hey, appreciate you, Mark, for everything you've done, and looks like you guys, a successful Canadian chat going, but. Fortunately, Nick is. I'm at the point where I'm starting to space out and zone out.
No, go ahead, man.
No worries. Yeah, it's getting late.
Lord Thoth, I know you don't really have a fully operational channel, but if you want to just have any final words of any shape or form, this is for you.
I just want to support the panelists that have been on here tonight. Everybody in the chat and everybody who's going to listen to this later on. Just take a look at these fine gentlemen, and support them. It's great to talk about pop culture. It's great to talk about comic books and toys and everything else that we get a chance to see on here. Ironcaster, Mark D with a C. They get to showcase some really cool stuff. Clobby has one of the best channels on YouTube. You really need to check him out, whether it's Star Trek, whether it's comic books, whether it's anything pop culture, you got to check him out. And the gentlemen that were on here earlier, too, I don't want to forget anybody, so I apologize if I do, but everybody that's on here. Please check them out. Ironcaster has some great stuff. I know that there's some really cool Gundam stuff that he talks about, and giant robots. Come on, who doesn't love that stuff? And Flava Flavs, your channel's really growing. I love what you did with Hawkeye the other day.
Thank you.
It really brought a warm feeling to my heart, because he's one of those characters that I truly love, and I'm glad you did a video on that. And the Friday night chance to talk about comic books is why I'm here. There's lots of other channels that keep bugging me to come on and talk, but this is my first choice every single time, because the chat, everybody in the chat here, you're awesome. TZ Canadian, Dragon Master 360, Comic Relief Crusader, Philbo Baggins, Critzable, of course, Critzable. Oh, I can't forget him. And we had Raquel in earlier. Angry Gamer, everybody that was on.
The lovely Sherry.
Can't forget that. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun here. And DM360, thanks for giving me a poke tonight in of course, in that other channel that was doing the Friday night constricting clothing show. It's a lot of fun here, getting a chance to chat with you guys. And MVP, check out MVP's channel. He's doing some great stuff. Just thanks for the invite. I love being on here on Friday nights.
All right, killer. Awesome. Thank you, dude. And yes, Mark, you would see, post a link to his channel in case, there's obviously a description, but if you want it quick and easy, there's that right there. And Thoth, thank you as always for coming on. It's good to be chatting with you again. And if you're available next week, awesome. If not, whenever you're available again, we will do this again. And last but certainly not least, you know what to do, Clobbering Times.
Hey, man, well, let's just get out of here, dude. Everybody knows where I am. You got my link. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, Star Trek. Can't wait. Monday night, Moxie Comics Talk, Super Teams this time. And then, Wednesday night, MVP and I will talk about the last Superman story ever written for the Superman that I care about. So,
woo!
By Alan Moore, all those shows, 9 p.m., same Trek, same bat time, same bat channel. And I just want to say, Nicholas, dude, get you some rest, buddy. We really appreciate you. Thank you for having us and making this space for us here. It's a great time hanging out at your comic shop, buddy.
Well, thank you. Appreciate
and long live the Legion.
Long live the Legion.
Long live the Legion. All right, chat. Obviously, we've winded down now, but thank you for those who stuck around. Thank you for the ones who tipped. Thank you for the ones who stopped by. Appreciate you all. Thank you for my panelists, whether you're here earlier or still around. Comic Shop Topic is back. We'll be back next week. And also, yes, hail. Commenting is dangerous. Hail to you, my friend. Thank you, as always, for your endless support. Never grow up said, that's right, TZ Canadian. That's what's up. Last Friday, January, we'll be doing the Inhumans panel on here. So I'm just going to give you that plug weeks in advance. We're going to be talking about the Inhumans and why they're awesome. So we're going to be discussing the Inhumans. Not that shit about the whole make him like the X-Men garbage. Fuck that shit. Sorry. I'm drunk, so I'm just gonna do hands.
Yeah.
Just gonna do hands. Fucking
The good
get
stuff.
out. Just get out, yeah. We're doing the actual Inhumans. And D-Bud, thank you, sir. And thank you for your endless support as well. Crucible the Vanilla Gorilla, thank you as well. Guys, we'll see you all next week. And for those who want to see us sooner, Toxic Tuesday, Mad Max, the Road Warrior. Obviously, I'm on Comics Division yelling at park cars as well. So I do that on Monday night. So back-to-back features. And I finally have that Neurotic Coffee in. So I will be doing a review on that soon. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. Yeah, well, thank you,
Go to
TZ.
bed.
And
Go to
yes,
bed.
I will go to bed. I've been going since 5
Get some
a.m.
rest, bro.
I'm pretty drunk right now too. So yes, this will be the part where we give you guys a last drunken song before we get out. So thank you again, chat, panel, mods. Na 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 na.
No.
Hey.